Shine, I'ma shine. I'm not one for wasting time. I'ma make that shit that gon' go have you wait and stand in line. Shine, you gon' shine. Don't you go and waste your time. I know you feeling down, but I know what you got deep inside. Shine, I'ma shine. Shine, I'ma shine. Shine, you gon' shine. Shine, I'ma shine. I'm not one for wasting time.
Welcome back. This is Pain or Gain. My name is Dr. T.
And I'm James LaVigne. You know what's funny? There was, I don't know if you got caught this, it's a little Easter egg actually, but we opened up book club a few weeks ago, and I was like, welcome to Pain or Gain. Wait, this isn't Pain or... I don't know what... I've never been on the show before, so it's like not
You've
even
never
like
said
it
it
was.
opening.
I've never
I just
did
like
it.
to imagine you in the corner being like, well, come on, this is Pain or Gain. You guys nailed it this time. Every week, you guys are on it every week.
And then I go on book club and fuck it up, fumbled it,
Yeah,
minus 2 fantasy points for
You
me.
get the one chance where you can go in and do it, man. One chance.
But nice to be here on
Welcome
Pain or
in,
Gain,
welcome
my
in.
first week here.
Thanks for stepping in.
Timo's on his way, so I'm gonna cherish my time right now. Cherish the moment.
Some life events happen. We got some good things. Go USA. USA all the way.
Now I never get to. I'm never on here, so I never get to do the opening. So like, but I watch the show all the time. Avid watcher.
Oh yeah,
right? Avid viewer. So how was your week?
Week was good. We've gotten a lot of the one consistency we've had is wheels. Wheels is still coming in strong. Less code browns and code yellows recently, which is nice. I don't have to go home immediately feel like I need a shower.
Right.
Because I walk in the house. But we're doing stairs.
All right.
Dog did 3 stairs on his own, like without us pushing nothing. So we've been doing stairs, but we haven't gotten going downstairs really well yet. So we're lucky there's an elevator right there.
Okay.
So we go up the stairs and we take the elevator down,
come back down,
and come out. So we've been doing some stairs. We had one of our therapists was sick today too, so I did six more patients today than I normally do, just to try to pick up the holiday slack.
Now, when you end up with more patients, does that mean there's less downtime, or does that mean you're like multitasking?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Because throughout the day, you kind of almost predict there's going to be some sort of like, we call it curveballs.
Okay.
We got like a curveball coming in, like, oh, someone came in late, or so thought their time was at this time or whatever. So we usually, a lot of patients, we can be like, all right, we know we're scheduling this slot for them, but it doesn't take them that long, or I can at least be, they're going to be on the bike for this amount of time. I could have like another time to go get this person started. So, but I know this person runs a little long, so I'll save the bike to the end, or I'll do this. Like there's ways that you can make it where you have at least a little bit downtime.
So just how you're planning out your day is going to kind of change from day to day.
Yeah. So I'll look in and see it like, hey, I have this person here and I have this patient. They always take a little bit longer because either their whatever condition is, or they just like to talk. They're just those type of people, which is cool. But you just kind of know, like, I'm going to have to hustle for this. Like, this 20-minute stint is going to be tough. Like, I'm going to need some stuff.
I do have a question because, first-time guest, long-time viewer, right?
Right.
Do you ever feel like you get like really stubborn patients? And if you get stubborn patients, are they stubborn in the sense of like, I don't need this, or like, I just don't care? Or is it maybe after a while and they're like, wow, I'm still doing it? Like, or do you have people who like just come in out the gate and it's like, I know I just like tore my ACL, but I don't want to do this?
So that's a good question. We get, you always have stubborn people. I have some patients, I call them my Starbucks patients. Is when you come in and everything has to be a certain, or I can only have it this way. I need this amount of resistance to make it this amount for me. And I need to have 3.5 towels on my hot pack. And I need to have, this specific, very specific thing. And then they try to they don't try to, they do tell me, they're like, hey, this is how I like it. This is how I need it to be done, blah, blah. And I'm kind of like, well, unless it's like egregiously wrong, I kind of let them roll with it.
Why do you think so? Like, here is a a profession where not just the fact like, okay, you clearly know what you're doing, but they're coming in, obviously injured to some degree, right? What do you think is like the psychology of coming in and kind of starting to make, I don't want to say demands, but kind of ask for preferences? Like, what do you think breeds that kind of thing? Because I remember when I was going through physical therapy, it was like, okay, I have to do this. Like, it's going to make me better. So whatever they say, I'm going to do. But what do you think kind of goes through their head there?
So I'm going to respond to your question with kind of a question and situation for you. How old were you?
Oh man, maybe 24, 25, I want to say.
Okay.
2012. This is my 10-year anniversary of my ACO, but so probably like 24, 23, 24 actually.
Okay. So you're younger.
Right.
And you are close to out of, college or through high school and things. And I do know your mother, so I know you're like respectful and had like a straightforward, I'm not going to let you talk back to me. And you kind of know, all right, there's like a way to do things, even though we're a bunch of idiots. Like
Right.
there's a way that you're supposed to do things. So you kind of listen to and have a respect for a higher
Authority?
power. Yeah, authority. So you have
Right.
respect for authority and understand like, all right, I'm just going to do what they tell me. Whether I don't always know best at this point, and you
Right.
understand that. Now imagine you are 52 and you are a manager of, you have a squad of 12 people that you manage,
Right.
and you work at some tech company or whatever it is, Silicon Valley. And then you're coming in and your whole thing is type A, like I need to control and I know what's going on. So before you even see me, you've Googled every single thing about ACL surgery or whatever it is. But like, I've read here that this is something that also works for people. I think that's going to work for me. And so it's a little different, and you get the people
Interesting.
like that, and I like tolerate that because I step back and be like, okay, that's this kind of person. Like I've been around those people.
Right.
Like I'm kind of not like a super type A, but I'm like, I kind of like what's comfortable for me. Like I know what it is and I like it. So I can step back and kind of look at that. Not everyone has that step back and look. A lot of people are like, no, I need to do it my way, and that's what's got me here. So let's keep doing it my way. So I'm going to look it up, and I'm going to know best for myself, and I'm going to, in their mind, they're helping me do my job.
And, you actually used a word that I think that was my theory with it is, I feel like when there's not many things in your life that you can't control at all, right? There's usually some kind of variation of decision or thing that you can do to like, okay, this is my decision or whatnot. When you get injured, and let's say it's like a ACL, let's say that it's a broken arm or whatever. There's really only one path to do. So I can kind of see how people would maybe be looking for the small pieces of control, even if it's, because you brought up a really good example, even if it's just like, actually, I like 3 towels on that. Well, for them in this circumstance, that's kind of all that they can just,
right.
You don't feel as helpless, I guess. Even though it might be a small, minor thing, it just maybe removes a little bit of that helplessness. But I was always curious because you figure like, you go see a doctor, and it's not even seeing a doctor for this, let's try to figure out what's wrong with you. That's more of like a classical doctor where you're going is like, why is my cough, run a MRI, whatever. When you're seeing somebody of your ilk, it's like, there's really only, we're fixing, it's the surgery or whatever has happened. You're not doing like the surgery,
right?
But it's like, hey, this is how we fix it. And for people to just be like, no, actually this way.
I'm a glorified babysitter in a way.
Right.
Because I don't take care of anything, well, except for my own stuff. But all of my patients that I'm seeing, I'm taking care of someone else's surgery, someone else's injury, someone else's leg, someone else's whatever. And that's where it gets touchy because that's, again, like you said, it's the only thing you can control is generally your body things and what happens to it. Now you're out of control. Now you're sitting here and letting someone else. There's just becomes a... those patients just take a little bit of time because you have to sit there and kind of think about, how am I going to approach this? How am I going to talk to this patient? And you got to learn a little bit of psychology that of like, hey, whether, you're going to have to cater to someone, and you can kind of get the sense as you talk to people like, I'm not going to break through this person. I'm not, no matter what I say, they're not going to believe it until they are proven wrong. And so unless, like I said, unless it's egregious, I'm going to sit there and be like, look, we'll try this. We'll try it your way. But if all else fails, this is going to be the plan, just so you know. So here you go. This is what we're going to do. And if not, we'll try these things, or I'll sprinkle it in and try to make it seem like it's their idea.
I think that's the right.
That's the way you got to curve it.
You're almost like coercing them to like,
you made this decision.
Right.
Here's the protocol. I mean, I'm just putting it there. I'm not telling you what to do. But if you look at that and decide that that's the right decision for you, like whatever, like that's cool.
Well, I think that's a, it's way harder. Studies have been done. It's way harder for adults to learn rather than children, right? Yeah. Because you're more set in your ways. Mm-hmm. But if you feel like in this kind of way, and I think that what makes the best adult learners, whether it be coaches, whether it be, doctors or like things like that, where you're trying to help somebody, the best way is you came up with this idea so you can feel kind of the confidence in doing that. And I think that, once again, long time viewer, first time guest. As a thought I've always had is I feel like what you do in some ways is just as important or more important than I think what happens at the surgery level. Now, I think that maybe like 50, 60 years ago when like an ACL surgery was like brand new, right? Like a broken bone surgery was brand new. I think that, maybe like I think at this point, a doctor is doing an ACL surgery in his sleep. It's been perfected. There's the technology is there. The advancements in medicine is there. I think the harder part at this point is, okay, the thing gets done, but how the next year or year and a half after that surgery, I think is more crucial than the surgery. There's like a very small chance that the surgery doesn't go well at this point. You know what I'm saying? But I think there's a huge chance that in that next year and a half, something goes wrong. You do something a little too early. You maybe run when you should be walking, or, you land back on it. And you see people who have like the same ankle problems and like the same like knee issues and things like that. And I think I was maybe a little bit too careful when I had tore my ACL, MCL, and meniscus. So I feel like that kind of even like set me back a little bit, because it was like maybe I could have kind of picked up a little bit at a certain time. Maybe I lost flexibility, whatever, right? But I do think that what you do, from somebody who's kind of been in that situation, I think what you do is, you could look at it like a glorified babysitter, because to a certain degree it is, but it's a babysitter that's like, think of it, a babysitter in like the most like spiritual way of like, hey, if you go into the street, you're going to get hit by a car. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's something to like kind of downplay at all. But I think that you're dealing with adults, which is even harder than babies, of like, because he's going to want to go play in his adult softball league, with his friends after work, whatever. Yep. And you have to be the one that not just tells him not to, because a baby will just listen to you say not to. You have to convince him that, hey, this is going to be way better in the long run. Yeah,
this is it, and this is why. Let me tell.
Right,
so
that
would be the one biggest thing is, and Haku brings up a great point in there, that the access to information makes us less likely to trust professionals. It may not being the entire reason, but it could be an accelerant, and it is. So, and it's because someone you don't understand. And so the thing is, they'll be like, well, I should be doing this instead. Why doesn't the doctor want me doing this? I read this online. Well, the doctor doesn't either. Maybe it's not that he doesn't care, but he doesn't have the time.
Right.
To sit there and explain to you the 17 different things that he already went through in order to make his medical decision to do what he did onto you.
Right.
The good thing about me is I kind of have that time. I have you for an hour, like 40 minutes to an hour, whatever it is, no matter what. I have to sit there and talk to you. And if you got questions, I'm kind of trapped. Like,
right.
I either got to start talking out of my ass, or I got to start like making something to make sure that you understand what's going on. And so that's when I can kind of be an advocator. What's the word I'm looking for? Dang it! What's the word I'm looking for? A supporter of, you know what I'm talking about?
Advocator is a pretty decent word for that.
An advocator for like the doctors and like what we're doing here, because
you're a representative almost.
Right.
Right.
And so,
because they don't have access to their surgeon like they do you. They're not going to be sitting there with them. They might check up every once in a while, but everything from there, so you look at the file and you're getting the file from the hospital of like, oh, so this is the surgery that was done, this is
Right,
this,
right,
this
right,
is this.
right.
So you have to almost be the surgeon. I know. Let me land this plane here. The surgeon almost has it easy because once he's in, like, bang, 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 I just like did something that modern science just revolutionized. Cool, you're on your way. But he doesn't have to. You don't. It's like he can get a phone call from them at any point of the day. So like this is starting to. You have to have all of the knowledge of the surgeon, or at least what happened, and then apply it to like real world. So you have to kind of take this very like high end, scholarly type medical thing, and you have to be like, well, this is why you can't climb stairs. You have to
Yeah.
translate this to like something so simple, and I think that is, from watching this show a lot like this, hearing how you like what your day to day job is, it's almost like it's like part doctor, part like psychologist, and I wonder if like during your education you had to take any kind of like psych as a requirement because
Yep.
it's a lot of time to spend with somebody in such a delicate kind of manner of like somebody's health, somebody's body, and you guys talk about it, you and Timo talk about it on the time about how personal that is to be a personal trainer, to like work with somebody throughout their injury. But that also means that you have to deal with a lot of emotions,
Yes.
and that can be a job in itself, you
Yeah.
know.
Because you run into people who have my least favorite thing to deal with is always the first time injured people.
Right.
Because one, I'm like, all right, like, congratulations. Like, the lucky few, you're 54 years old and finally rolled your ankle. Like, shut up. Dude.
Right.
Get out of here, man. But,
You
like,
won.
it's also, you're 54 years old and you've never had pain. But, like, dealing with pain changes something in your mindset.
Right.
And so it's tough to be able to do those things. And I can speak from experience. I used to be a hypochondriac. When I was, like, 14, like, everything hurt. I rolled my ankles. I was complaining about it. I would, this hurts, that hurts. Oh, my finger hurts. Oh, I'd get up, like, limp around the house for no reason. Like,
Right.
and then I actually had pain. I, like, broke my collarbone. I, tore my hamstring. I, had compartment syndrome. I dislocated my shoulder.
And then
I
it was
broke
like,
my
fuck,
arm.
this actually hurts.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, this
I
sucks.
feel you.
I don't want this. This is terrible. I don't want anything to do with any of this pain anymore. I don't want to act like I have pain. This is awful.
You talk about all the time, and it's something that I have various. I get what you're saying. This isn't like something like, oh, this doctor's wrong, but I would say I'm somebody who has. You always said all the time. It's like the worst thing to say, like a high pain tolerance,
Yeah.
because I feel like broken bone, like ACL, like I've tore my hamstring, like the main three of just like ligament, bone,
All the different types of pain.
right. So and I think that now I'm sure that there's still like levels, you know what I'm saying, but I do find myself that, like, let's say I smash my hand in like a door, or like just kind of those things that are like everyday type of pains. I am good at being like oh fuck, but that's not broken. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have
Like,
right.
it might suck for maybe a day.
Right. I don't have to go to the.
I'm not
doctor
telling
for
anybody
this.
about this.
Right, exactly. I'll know, like, if I'm in pain, like, I at least have this internal monitor of like, oh shit, I should probably get this checked out. Like, this is a big bruise, but I've actually have a funny injury story of oh, you know what? Because it's this. I don't know why that does it. This is gonna sound better. It's just that screen. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I got that fixed though. It kind of sounds like robotic in the other scene, but
Oh,
I
interesting.
have a funny injury story. What would it be pain or gain if I could bring like it's still? I don't know what's okay. BRB.
Pause.
All right.
And we back.
And just like that, we're back. I have a funny injury story to tell. It was actually from when I used to play Knights, right? So
Yeah.
it kind of goes back. So this was like White Knights, and my dad was the coach or one of the coaches at the time, right? I think he coached like DBs. So like we're in practice. This is maybe like Wednesday, games are on Saturday, right?
Right.
So we're doing like it's like a simple drill where it's like you're at the corner receiver, they run like an out or a slant. You kind of go in
You
like
had to follow him.
right.
Right. Trails.
So I had went down to get interception and kind of just got my thumb kind of stuck. Actually, it was my right thumb, kind of like just stuck in the ground and just kind of like with the grass. It was pretty shitty grass, right?
Yeah.
You just got it pulled back and it hurt. So I stayed out for the rest of practice. I went home. My dad was just like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "It hurts," but like, cause he was just like, "Throw some ice on it," type of thing, right? So it starts to just swell though, but I just have ice on it, and I know that if I say something,
it's gonna cause all this ruckus.
I can't play, right? And I was a quarterback at that time, right? So like I was like crucial. I wanted to play, but it was also crucial. So I tried to like suck it up as much as possible. The funny thing is, so did my dad. So we both were just kind of like,
he knew it wasn't good.
Like,
don't say anything.
Not. So my mom comes home and she sees that there's ice on it, right? So she asked me what's wrong and everything. I asked him what's wrong because he's there, right? And removes the ice, and my thumb is kind of like fucking Mickey Mouse glove, right? Like a 6-year-old's glove that's like a 6-year-old's
way too
finger
big,
that's like a 15-year-old finger, right? However old it was. So she's like, "I'm gonna take him to the doctor tomorrow," right? So now it's Thursday. Go to the doctor. The doctor's like, "You broke your thumb." Like that's no. Sorry. My dad took me. So he was like, "All right, I'll take him." Right. So we talk to the doctor, and the doctor's like, "Yeah, you broke it. Could you kind of play with like, it's not a bad break. Maybe it's even like more like a sprain, but you can play with it if you just kind of wrap it up. You probably can't play quarterback, but you can still play defense. So, but you probably shouldn't, it's like in the NFL, we're going to like clear you,
by the way.
But so, I remember on the drive home, my dad was kind of like, "Look,
don't tell mom.
We're just not gonna. We're not gonna say nothing. We're gonna tell her that you're in." So we get home. My mom didn't believe him, so she got the like I like the doctor report. It's like, okay, he can't play, right? So we hatched a plan because I still wanted to play. It was Saturday was a home game, right? So the idea was I'm not gonna play this week. I'm gonna play next week. Whatever we're gonna see from it there.
So Ma, you don't have to come to the game.
Right. So she starts to get suspicious, and I walk out the house with all my like my pads, like the pants and everything. And she's like, "Well, why you have the uniform on?" My dad was like, "Oh, it's just to show, team, right? Just be out there with the team and everything, right?" Now she wouldn't go to every single game, right? And especially a game I'm not playing in. Right. So she would go to the games, but a game that he's like, he's not even going to be playing. Like my dad's like, he's not even going to be playing today. So you don't have to next week.
You can, don't worry about it.
So she got suspicious. So game starts. Obviously I'm playing. You guys know where this story is going. I'm playing. It's just kind of wrapped up to fucking a mummy hand. Right. And I'm playing safety, and like the second play of the game, I make a tackle, and then they announce on the thing.
Oh no!
Like that was and she heard it, came out on the field, pulled me off the game herself. I don't know if she went onto the field, but she got like onto the sideline. It was like just arguing with my dad, like
now
get him out. So I was out for the rest of the game. And you know what, Mom, if you're watching right now, I got Drew Bledsoe that season. I never got to play quarterback again because whoever came in went bald. And I still play defense and everything, but it's your fault, Mom.
Could have been
your fault, Mom. That's my little injury story, though. But I wouldn't be playing a game if I couldn't bring my good one in. And, I got plenty. As you, I kind of relate to you, in a spiritual injured sense of like, hey, man, I know what it like because like I think people get hurt. Like people will kind of be clumsy and like stub their toe and things like that. But like you've had like actual injuries. Like I've had actual injuries that are like you can't do nothing. Like
I literally broke my pinky toe when I came back at my better half's place. We were taking the dog out. It was like midnight, and it was like had to go to the bathroom. Like all right, whatever. I'm like on the tail end of getting really, really drunk at a Giants game. And so I'm still like kind of drunk when we're like taking them out. break my toe on the side of an ottoman, taking it out.
Oh, no.
My left pinky toe, as I made it like a sharp left turn, trying to like be sneaky, taking as little steps as possible. Yo, I didn't tell a damn soul except for when she looked. She's like, is your toe okay? And I was like, I mean, it's cool. She's like, is it purple? And I was like, I mean, it's cool. Worked
cool,
the whole, didn't miss a damn day of work. Didn't do nothing.
Did the nail fall off?
No, it was
Okay.
the inside one. It like jammed it and then it hit it and then it went. And so it was like it wasn't the nail part of it, but it was the one right
Like
before
the
it.
knuckle.
So yeah, so it wasn't that bad. Like, I mean, it's fine. It's my pinky toe. You don't really need your pinky toe. Cut that
Right.
thing off. But it was definitely was like I went to work and I was like, man, this is definitely like I feel it right now.
It's like
Taking
sometimes
some
you
steps.
gotta-
I'm like, all right, I can't really complain today.
Sometimes you got to play questionable.
Yeah.
Questionable. You gotta get the call. Go
That
in.
is. Sometimes it's
Too many fantasy
questionable,
teams
probable.
rely on you. You
Yeah,
gotta
you gotta
in
get
there.
the call in. But yeah, man.
Speaking of,
Speaking of,
this is the part where you and Timo usually ask each other how your fantasy teams did.
how did yours do?
Okay, so so since this viewership is new for me, right? I have Justin Jefferson and Cook from the Vikings fell into my lap, right? So I was just riding with them all season. Like those are my guys, right? I married myself to the Vikings, right? That also came at the cost of dealing with Kirk Cousins. So it's always a toss up. And I have pretty good running backs. I have pretty good receivers. I had a lot of players playing on Thanksgiving, right?
Big juice.
Rondre Stevenson came through.
Big juice.
20. Jefferson had 29, gritty and all over the place. Cook only had 8, but I wasn't tripping. I was riding high, needless to say, right?
Yeah, like if it was the other way around and like Ramondre got 8 and the other 2 got 20, you'd be like, this is a pretty good week.
Right. So
So-
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good going into the week. I get to Sunday, right? I knew, this is when I knew where my week was going. Sometimes it's just one play where you just know I'm going to lose this week because Mark Andrews dropped the touchdown. And I was like, you know what? He ended up getting 11, right? But I just think this is going to be a tough game or a tough
Like I
week.
needed him to pull out like a 22.
Right,
and it
like
would've
I
been nice.
needed that because Etienne got hurt like early in the game. He had like 0 points, but still I was like, Carr did cool. Like, I got Pickens, I got the Pittsburgh kicker, I got a punter on. So like I'm actually not sitting in a bad position. Now, how was your week?
Well, I Josh Jacobs. So and he just had the most yards in Raiders history from scrimmage, right? 303. So I mean, I did okay. But no, my team is. I've just had a lot of guys step up. A lot of next man up. A lot of things have gone my way. In the fortunate, I kind of threw some darts at some people, and it's really been working out. Like Lockett's been a real nice late round.
I don't
late
think
round strip.
anybody in the world has bounced back from Cooper Kupp being out like you have. So kudos to that because I was a big one, but you do have digs. I play Josh Jacobs, so that chance, that sliver of hope that I thought I had. You know what sucks is the Pittsburgh kicker went out and fucking balled. Pickens went and did pretty good. Like any other week, and like it's a close game, but I didn't know that fucking Josh Jacobs was Eric Dickerson. So didn't
Winning
know
damn
that.
leagues now. That's for all you haters that thought he was not gonna do great. I was all over it. I love him. I love him.
Did call that. And
I was like, I don't understand who else. Amir Abdullah is gonna take his what?
Shout out to Sarah who had him next on her pick list
Got
and
sniped.
got that shit sniped. You would be sitting. I end up going with Cam Akers.
Really would.
We know how that goes. But we go and we talk about, as I've seen this show before, you're going to give us some breakdowns of the injury report, right?
We will.
Starting with, wrong one,
With Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. Now, he's been hurt for a while. What's the injury even?
So he had what's called a hip subluxation. So that's basically the miniature version of a dislocation. It's not great, which is why he's been out for a bit, but it's not the end of the world at this point. I personally think if this was a playoff game last week, he would have played.
Okay.
They said he was pretty close. He warmed up. He did okay. I think I think he practiced full go today as far as I'm aware. But he, He should be good to go. I'm trying to think of a reason why they wouldn't. I think they need to start winning out. Like they're in like a must-win things at this point. I thought that like, I guess the Tennessee was kind of a must-win, but this was a kind of like nut up or shut up week.
Right.
And so I think especially coming into, I think they were just playing safe with him. Just he is like one of the franchise guys.
Right.
I think they're playing a little bit safe with him. But I don't think there's a risk for injury. I think he's good to go. He should be a lock to start. Like I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. Hip subluxation is just your bone shifts, which is okay. It's just a little tough healing process, just because your hips take so much pressure that any extra shifting that it's not kind of used to takes a little bit more pressure on it, and so it's just not super great, but he's okay with. I think he's good to go. Not a real risk for re-injury. Hips, unless you do a full dislocation, even hip subluxations, the bigger issue is usually the swelling inside the joint and any like bone damage from like bone on bone contact or like contusions or things like that. That's usually more of the issue why it hurts so much. And then you have a bunch of the nerves that go down from your spine to your leg are usually in there, so they're usually very, very cautious about it. Just so it doesn't hit that and kind of bump around it, but he should be good to go.
Now, the injury, was this a injury that took him out of the game, if you can recall?
I think I remember the catch, and he kind of fell over and like landed. He was almost in like all fours on the ground, and his knee jammed into the ground and hit him into the back of the leg. I think he got up and he was like on the sideline. I don't think he went back in though.
Okay. So it was an injury took him out. But for all you Jamar Chase
miniature
owners out there,
dislocation, miniature. There you go. Sorry.
Okay, now I thought the whole time it was this medical like miniature. I was like, okay, yeah.
I don't know why I don't know if I've ever said it that way, but miniature.
Miniature. That is
miniature.
Now it is
Minotaur.
Part of Painter Game lore. That's how you say miniature.
Just like he's got a miniature cookie duster on there. Jamar Chase. Miniature cookie duster.
Now, if you were watching the World Cup, USA won, beat Iran.
USA.
Now,
soccer.
It did come at a price as Pulisic got injured.
Is it Pulisic or Pulisic?
I don't know.
Pulisic. I've heard
Maybe
multiple
Pulisic.
things, and I feel like
Pulisic is the coolest.
I feel like you know more about European soccer than I do. I feel like because he's on Chelsea, I feel like you should know more than me.
Yeah, I skip Chelsea games. So.
Damn it. Well,
I really just watch at this point the soccer games that I bet on, which
and that's fair.
Has it's led me, it's different now. Okay, so at this point, because I'll follow some guys on Twitter who like give like soccer plays, so like play them overnight, or if like I'm up late, like I'll play something so I kind of have something to watch on some random stream, right? I stopped betting on leagues though altogether that suck. So like just that are trash, I just won't. So like English league, Italian league, all the way down to French league, La Liga, I will.
Okay.
But it's different when you're betting on the Chinese soccer league, and it's just they're terrible. And I'm like, why did I bet over 1.5 on this game? I want to fucking punch a wall right now, and I can't be mad. See, that's the thing about betting on bad players is you can't be mad because it's like you guys would
like,
be
you took the
in
risk,
a better league
man.
if you guys were good. And now like I've seen it. Once I seen the own goal, I was like, never betting Norwegian soccer again. That's it. Like that's. It looks like they're playing it in high school and
2 weeks later.
But shout out to Mo.
So Pulisic, that's what I thought because my last name is Dimich, and it was supposed to be like Doncic, Vidic, Modric, Pulisic, and then my grandpa when he came over they added the H when he came over to make it more American.
Are you Polish?
I don't know. I am Yugoslav.
Okay. So Eastern Europe, the Nordic genes.
I get like 3 teams to root for every year. So
right.
There's Serbia, Croatia, Bosnia Herzegovina. One of us makes it usually. Someone. Luka Modric is the GOAT though. I think we're technically from the Croatian side.
Right.
So I mean, if I had to choose, I would be the kind of Croatian team. They got a cool guy, Sucic. I've seen like I don't know. I went in like a Croatian rabbit hole for no reason. He's super fun. But anyway, keep an eye out for Sucic. If
I guess Croatia made the World Cup finals last time.
Yeah.
You know what?
They went far.
This is just like a funny story of the last World Cup, because everybody enjoys the World Cup when it comes.
Who won it
around,
last
right?
year? Why am I dumb?
France. 2018, with basically like the same team too. It was Mbappe, Benzema. They beat Croatia.
Aubameyang or whatever too.
Yeah. I basically I always look forward to the World Cup. I enjoy the World Cup. I was going through like the worst breakup last World Cup, so I was just not in it. I was like fucking
Didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. So and then by the time I was like, all right, couldn't pay attention to shit. Just ended. So I missed like the whole World Cup. So now we're here, but
Mo with the stuff. Pulisic's dad's Croatian. We did it. I am also.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Hey.
I thought so. I just didn't expect myself to know. See, that's the difference we were talking about earlier. I was like, you know what? Other people are smarter about this than I am. I'm not just going to assume I think this is what it is, but that's the difference. We understand that other people are smarter than us in many other things.
Right.
But
what was his injury? It happened on the goal, didn't it?
So it happened on the goal. I've watched that video so many times to try to figure out. The only reason I could think they would
injury,
send
by the
him.
way? Sorry.
So he got like a cleat to the. I think they technically said a hip or a pelvic contusion.
Ooh, okay.
So like a bone bruise on like your pelvic, your hip basically.
Oh wow.
I couldn't really see where it was other than like Mo's referring to. I think he got kicked in the nuts. So there is like he got up and then tried to
But to the
jog.
point he contused the nut.
Not the actual. It would have been the bone. So what he actually got up and he like tried to jog on the sideline and then he like went down. I think he got kicked in like the what's called your iliopsoas, your hip flexor, and it's like underneath your hip bone that goes into it.
Okay.
Oof. But yeah, he just cleats up, man. But that's the goal. Like the goalie sacrifice. He scored the goal. That's all that matters. Let's be real.
Haku asks, is this the soccer equivalent of putting your body on the line?
Putting your nuts on the line.
It has
I mean, that's
right?
got to be. If you think about it, like all of your kicks, like you got to open up, like you gotta move your leg out the way, and you got to open up to kick that ball every time. That's like.
So okay,
I don't know. I'm tentative.
It's actually interesting. Haku brings up something interesting, right? What is every sports? Because I was watching a hockey game one
Mentally,
time,
you never recover.
This is when I knew hockey was ridiculous. Like these fools are fucking crazy. I was watching. It was a regular season game, like fucking middle of the regular season. And I was watching it with Timo, actually. It was like, it wasn't even like overtime yet. It was just a close game. And dude lost his stick. And Mans was ready to go for a slap shot to like try to get it in, like pull the goalie and everything. Mans dove on the ice to just take one in the regular season. Like that's putting it on the line right there for it. A football has to be like catching one over the middle, right?
Yeah, jumping in the air on like a slant. Like, you know you're dead. You know, like... I'm going to get to come back and everyone's going to know it's the quarterback's fault for doing that. But if I don't jump, everyone's going to be like, come on, man.
Right.
But then I'm also going to be like, come on, man.
Like, for Kyle Orton, why'd you do this to me?
I get up woozy and like halfway, like I can't even lean to the left correctly. And I have to walk back to the huddle and I just get sorry, man. I'll try to help you better next time. And it's like, what the hell, man? Thanks. Thanks for killing me.
I do see another question. Sarah asks, how long does it take to get better, to recover after getting hit in the nuts? From a medical standpoint.
Yeah, I don't know if I've been hit in the nuts before. But I'm trying to think. There were, because the nerves that go into there refer towards your lower abdomen. I don't know, because you can explode a testicle. Like you've been like that's a thing. So I think it's just like any other bruise. Like if you bruise like a tailbone or you get like a contusion in your forearm or something. So I mean, depending on how bad it is, if it's a physical, like you get like hematoma in your nutsack.
So let me tell you an anecdote. Okay. So my girlfriend had found out that when UFC, like, you know, when they get hit in the nuts, because it's actually something we had for chips, right? That when you get hitting the nuts, they give you 5 minutes to like,
Collect
kind of
yourself.
right. So she took this as, oh, it only hurts for 5 minutes. So she's taking the liberty from then, and she'll like hit me or kick me in
Like,
the
come on,
nuts.
5 minutes.
Because she thinks it's 5 minutes.
5-minute rule.
But I'm glad. I'm glad because I know you're out there watching. I'm glad that we've learned that you can explode a testicle.
Yeah,
I
that's
did.
the thing.
Have you ever like? Does it
I've
ever
never experienced it.
for, like,
I've never had it happen anywhere around me. There is a thing called, now that we're on the subject, there's a thing called testicular torsion.
Oh my god, that just sounds bad. It just sounds bad.
So testicular torsion is when, and it could happen at any point. So sorry to terrify any male, but if like your testes get like wrapped and like cut off the blood supply to one of them, and it'll just swell up and it'll explode. I don't know if it's cutting off the blood supply, but I know that it's testicular torsion. It happens when something gets clogged or twisted the wrong way, or they wrap around, and then it has to go over, and it like swells up and explodes, and it needs to like, you need to have surgical intervention.
Oh my god,
It's called testicular torsion. Yeah.
This isn't a laughing matter, but Timo said, can you read it?
Yeah, I had a homie lose a testicle due to a bad skateboarding accident when we were like 12, 13. That's just, man, I just don't even want to think.
Was he trying to grind and like?
All in my soul. All in my soul, girl, I'm trying to grind.
Haku says literally ripped. That is exactly what it is.
Oof, duh. I can't even.
It's a nut pain is one of those that you really can't. You can't, like, to a woman, you can't quantify, like, it's to the same that it's like, I understand that probably like the menstruation cycle, it probably hurts, but it's something different. Like, I'm giving birth, it hurts, but you get hit in the nuts, it's just I can't even say it's a sting. I can't even say it's just a nut kick.
Yeah, it's like you just feel everything retract, and it's retracting further than it should.
Right.
It's kind of like, it's like, I was just trying to go back, but it's got nowhere to go. And so it's like
backed up against
it's like
the wall.
a pressure, but it's like you're just shoving, But I would like to say, Mo did say he's supposed to be back on Saturday against Netherlands. That might also be why they're not like disclosing it. They don't really want to say he has a bruised nut.
Right.
Because that's kind of weird, but like, they're probably taking precautions. So there is also the only other thing I could think of would be if he had some sort of internal bleeding.
Okay.
So if he had some sort of cut, or they were worried about it, or if he peed blood, that could have literally been from getting kicked in the nuts, and like whatever. Like it gets into it a little bit. Or they could be concerned if he had some kind of internal injury that leads to, because your kidneys will filter that. Ooh. I actually had lacerated spleen and kidney. Then I peed blood. It sucked. It was terrible. The Jason Witten.
Does it hurt to pee blood? Or do you just start to see blood and it's like, oh shit,
you just see
sucks.
You just see it. It doesn't hurt. It's just I don't know, this is TMI. I don't really care anymore. It just felt really warm. Like it felt warm.
Okay, all right.
It was weird. It was the weirdest feeling, and that's the only way I could probably describe it. It felt a little bit heavier, and it felt warm.
There's a question that's actually an interesting one. Timo asked, do your balls get sucked into your body when you have a sports hernia, or is that a myth?
No, it's a myth. A sports hernia is educational time. This is actually a good thing. Well, not a good thing, but a sports hernia happens to men. Cap. It happens to men, and only men can have a sports hernia, because when you are in embryonic stages, everyone starts as female. You start with your ovaries up here, and that's what so it's just your sex organs at that point. So what happens is it actually travels through your inguinal canal, which is like your groin area, and it goes out through there, and that's what connects your testes. Is it comes out through there, and that's what becomes your like scrotum and stuff, is because it comes through that inguinal area, and where they go, there's always a weaker point. So that you have 2 weak points
as like entries.
And so what happens is a sports hernia is when you basically have internal pressure blow up into you, and it causes to have, like, you've seen like when they have it in their belly buttons, if you have a hernia, it like becomes a bubble. That just happens in your pelvis, like your inguinal area, in like your upper groin pelvic region.
And that's
what comes out. You can literally just sit there and like, I know plenty of rugby matches where they've had it and they just were like, "Wait," and then just like shove it back in. And you can shove it back in and it's like, all right, that's what happens. Also, rugby is crazy, but that's what a sports hernia is.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's also known as an inguinal hernia, INGUINAL.
No, that's wow. That's fucking. That's a horror film waiting to happen.
Yeah.
I need to do Osmosis Jones sequel with a sports hernia just travel through the ball canal. I guess that's gives me the shivers.
Yeah. So that's your lot of pelvic stuff today.
Now, shout out to Pulisic. Go
Pulisic.
Go USA.
Yeah, because the announcer said Pulisic, and I was like, I don't think so. That's not right.
You know, that's your people, right?
Yeah.
It's like I know that name.
Did he?
Yes, but it's like if you said it in the Bach way, you would say it that way. But on camera, they got him saying it as.
So they might have made it Pulisic when he came to America.
And he was
Pulisic
like,
is
right,
the OG
right,
way.
they-
Yeah, screw these guys. Pulisic. I know, man. We got you. We got you.
This brings to one that I was interested in because he's been having such a good season.
This might really matter to people trying to make a fancy push.
Justin Fields.
So Justin Fields has a grade 2 AC sprain. And so we've talked about the AC joint before being where the collarbone and the shoulder blade meet.
Right.
And that was the piano key thing. So you have the joint here and this one drops.
Ooh.
On the outside. So that's the kind of you fall on your shoulder.
Was it throwing arm? Do you know?
I think it's throwing arm. But it wouldn't matter for someone like him because he's so mobile, he takes a lot of hits.
Right.
And it would really take away his legs if he doesn't want to get hit. Or not really, but it would take away a large portion of it because he doesn't really scramble out of bounds. Usually, if he scrambles, he comes up the field. He's a running back at that point. And so that's why it matters to someone like him as opposed to someone like Matt Ryan, who had a grade 2 AC sprain. They said they were going to shut him down for the season, but like I said, it's usually 2 to 4 weeks. So it's 2 to 4 weeks, probably 4 weeks on a guy who's more, taking more hits. That's getting dirty with it. That more running, like a running back would be 4 weeks if you had this.
Got it.
Quarterback more 2 weeks, 4 weeks because he's basically
taking so much impact.
Exactly.
Right.
And so he's going to be, I think, at least 1 more week. I think, and they're also like the Bears aren't going to do anything.
Right, it's almost shut him down time anyway. So
December is kind of shut him down time. I think if they get out of it, they're gonna say he like re-aggravated and they're gonna shut him down.
Now
because he's proved he's like all right, here's our franchise. Here you go.
Right, and
whatever you want.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I'm glad at least that he had a chance for them to see because he looked good, and big difference here. I think I said this on Chips last week, but. There was the Zach Wilson thing that happened, right? Where it was Zach Wilson kind of evaded accountability when they asked him. Well, unrelated but related, Justin Fields. Were they in the same draft? They were in the same draft.
Yep. He took ownership for everything.
Right. And he was hurt. That was the game he got hurt and he was playing injured and he still got out there and did it. So I think that at least there's not a question of is Justin Fields the future of this team, but I do think it'd probably be for the best to shut him down because they're not really playing for anything over there.
Yeah, and I think that's like one of the like unspoken things for being a quarterback. I remember to this day, like I played, it wasn't even that important, but I remember anytime we'd have anything in practice, we had a quarterback, and he was the consummate team player. One of my favorite teammates I've ever had. He was our quarterback, and no matter what, he took the blame. Because he knew, the coaches knew whose fault it was. And as a coach, I'm like, yeah, I know exactly whose fault that was. If the receiver didn't try harder, if the quarterback like threw it out, like I'm gonna yell at my guy because I gotta control. Like my guy is the only one I control. Maybe you could have made it a little bit better.
Right.
But he took every single time, whether you dropped it, whether you ran the wrong route, and he threw where you were supposed to be. Doesn't matter. He was, yeah, it's my fault. I'll put it on you next time. I got you. Meanwhile, I'm walking back to the huddle, and I'm like, that guy ran the wrong fucking route. It's that guy's fault. But that guy's not going to have to take the blame because mentally he can't. It's the quarterback who knows, like, for the most part, his job is safe. So maybe that's the difference between Zach Wilson. Who are they going to put in instead? Trevor, shut up. You're not putting in Trevor Siemian. He's on bottom tier. He's not upper echelon Trevor's yet. He's
right,
down there.
right. No, he's a second tier Trevor for sure.
But like he knows it's safe. That's the same thing with my quarterback. Was he kind of knew? He's like, no one's gonna take my job. What do you do? No one taking my spot. No one taking my job.
Zach
It's
Wilson
fine."
also playing like dog shit too.
But I mean, he's also like, you're not gonna start Mike White over him if he's healthy, unless you do something stupid like this. So that's
Right.
the kind of unspoken thing is like having that accountability as a quarterback and just saying it's your fault when everyone's obviously like, well, they gave up 45 points, like it's kind of your defense fault or something like that. That's not what
But
happened.
especially
with
in a clear situation where it is your fault, where
Yeah.
you actually have
Like,
an
I own it
opportunity
anyways.
to. They had negative 21 passing yards in the second half of that game against the Patriots. So it's clearly your fault, and it's a crucial moment in your quarterback career because you can take the blame for that and say, hey, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna blah blah blah, and nobody's gonna be mad at that. You're almost absolved of it, because they know that teams do. You're winning, but he literally said the one thing that you can't say.
Yeah, the thing was the Jets are good too. Like weirdly, I like the Jets.
Okay, so the
A
Jets
lot.
are good because they have a good offensive line and they have a really good defense. They have top 5 defense.
Yes.
I'm still waiting for somebody to explain to me why the Giants are 7-4 because their defense is the middle of the pack.
They win the weird
Offense is
games.
middle of the pack. That's
They win the weird
game team.
games, but it's catching up to them now. They had the weird things like we're gonna run naked boots with Daniel Jones,
Right.
and it's gonna work because everyone's gonna be like, "No, it's Daniel Jones. You aren't doing it." Now they're like, "Well, they might actually do it. I guess we gotta have
Right.
one guy out there to protect it." And
And
so
I guess
that's
the
why
other
they're like,
wins-
yeah,
wins
they're
are
gonna
like
start losing now. They're gonna
180
catch
yard.
on to him. They know what's going on now. They're gonna start catching on to him, and Giants are gonna start losing. But you got a quarterback you want to play for. Like that's nice having like a guy like that, and so that's kind of they want to play for the White Vic, who he's now affectionately dubbed
Vanilla Vic.
Vanilla Vic, and you gotta roll with it. So
It is just funny though because he's not good,
no, he's not.
but they've kind of talked themselves into. I welcome a new quarterback into the Kirk Cousins club. As Car fans, we're part of Kirk Cousins club.
Yep.
Where you're good enough,
The Phillip
but
Rivers,
not bad enough.
I think it's dubbed the
You're
Phillip
right
Rivers.
there.
It should be the Phillip Rivers Academy.
That's the alumni.
yeah,
of it.
he's
But
the
see,
originator.
Phillip Rivers will put up like MVP type numbers. He just won't come through. The Kirk Cousins is, I'm not the top 10. You can argue it. I'm never really top 5, but I'm not bottom 10.
Yeah,
So I'm right there. You can win with me if all the pieces
I'm
are
always average to above average, no matter what you think.
right.
Never below average.
Dak played himself into that. He was at one point maybe a top 5. Like
Yeah.
the potential
You could
was
argue
there.
it,
But no, he's kind of played himself into that. Dak Cousins,
right?
just like Carr Cousins, and now Daniel Cousins.
Daniel.
Welcome to the club. Sorry,
in.
Giants fans. One that actually won a game for us in our fantasy league this
Yeah.
year. Najee Harris.
Najee Harris. So the Najee Harris thing is weird because they're not saying anything about it. Not even Tomlin. Tomlin's not even coming out with like
I thought I heard like abdomen.
it said abdomen, but they aren't letting go of anything about like what's going on with it, who like how much, what is actually wrong. Is it a contusion? Is it a muscle strain? Is it a gastrointestinal? Is it they aren't literally are saying nothing about it. Is it a hematoma? Is it something with whatever? They're not saying anything about it.
Right.
So no one knows what's going on with it. He's still going to be listed as questionable. And then I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of it. I would just monitor his practices because you can't really tell if they're not giving you any more information. There's not like a designation on any website. No one knows.
Do you know if he was injury prone in college?
I don't think he was. He didn't really play till his senior year.
Okay.
So he was always behind. He was behind like Drake, and he was behind
Right.
like
Josh Jacobs,
and he was
yeah.
behind. So he didn't really play too much.
Interesting.
But I know in high school he never got hurt.
I don't think anybody tackled him. That's why.
Also fair.
But this is and you know what? I like him because he's kind of Bay Area guy. But
Yeah, Antioch. He does a lot for the community. Like he's.
I will
I
say
want to
though,
put him up, but he's like Marshawn Lynchish, where he's just
he is.
continues.
He
to get
has a
better.
great story. He was like homeless for a while. Like he goes back to the same homeless shelter now. Having said that, I do not like his running style. He has this. It's the same thing that I kind of get frustrated with DeAndre Swift, except, hey, what's going on here?
I was on the other.
Oh, yeah. He has this DeAndre Swift, but with DeAndre Swift, I can kind of be smaller. I get it, But I've now seen enough film broken down where he's not a north-south runner, and that frustrates me.
He's like a little herky-jerky.
And I don't like that for somebody his size, that he can go through holes. And when he does hit holes, he'll get 8-9 yards when the hole is there. It's almost like, I don't know if it's like he doesn't trust his vision, but there's something there that in the running style that is just a bit off. I think he's good. I think he'll be good in the NFL, but I think I maybe rated him a bit too high last year. I thought he was going to be maybe like, break it as like a top 10, top 5 guy. But
Pause. Slick Fargo, welcome back, baby.
Slick Fargo, let's go.
We can continue. Sorry about that. I had to. Slick Fargo fan club. We're making a big streak. We're running. We're gonna be sprinting down into the playoffs. We were limping, but we just got our ankle taped up, and we're sprinting into the playoffs now.
Slick Fargo, this is the first time I've actually been on the show. Timo's here too. We're getting him on camera right now, but I just want you to know that I lost to Slick Fargo's fan club.
Slick Fargo fan club,
which is his guy
in the building.
He has Josh Jacobs, bro. He had 62 put on my ass. Like, didn't even make sense. He covered all my receivers and running backs with like Josh Jacobs. Like, my highest scoring player was Justin Jefferson with 29, right? Like I said, I felt good about that. Josh Jacobs almost matched that with one
He
play.
did your entire Thanksgiving total.
And it's ridiculous. I'm sick. But it is what it is. Those are the breaks. So if you have Najee Harris, you starting them, monitoring it, sitting them.
I have a backup plan for him, just because. Well, Jalen Warren, the only reason I'm kind of like would hold out hope is the guy that started to take his job has a hamstring issue.
Okay.
So Jalen Warren has a hamstring issue. That's why he didn't play. That's why they had weird old Benny Snell and who's the other guy?
Benny Snell.
Benny Snell.
I know you're talking about. He got a lot of play.
It wasn't McFarland, was it?
It was McFarland. There it is.
McFarland. So they had like this weird thing where it's like, yeah, it's but they don't trust either of them. Benny Snell is awful. Benny Snell's not a good running back. So I think Najee's going to be at least in the game, but he might get like a little bit of little test run. I don't know if he's going to get the full bulk, but he's probably going to get at least 50% of it. So I would have him in unless he's out of the game.
Right.
But I for sure, like, I'm trying to pick up some kind of backup plan for it.
Slick Fargo just said, bro, JJ balled out. Unfortunately, I know.
Fortunately.
But it worked for you.
It did. It's been nice.
And you know what? I can only say that it's probably a little bit of that Slick Fargo magic rubbed off. Had to be. Now, Slick Fargo, I'm a long time viewer, first time guest, so I'm well aware of your presence on the show. But I got to know how your fantasy team is doing with the 2 quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah. You had a bunch of stuff going on. Didn't you have you had defensive players or something?
Like Slick Fargo was
he hasn't been keeping.
Oh, okay. So that's how it's going.
I can't say I'm surprised.
That's how that's going. I see. Lower. Yeah. And then you got some of the outside of the screen. Oh, you're close. I think if I lean this way. No, yeah, she could crop it. The cable is just kind of going in and out.
So next we have
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G. Is it on the other one too? But Jimmy G is going to come on the screen eventually. But I would not be worried about Jimmy G.
I'll just go down.
Jimmy G has a mild MCL sprain,
Right.
which makes a difference. Again, if this is Justin Fields, he might be out a week. But because it is Jimmy G and because he hasn't been mobile since 2012, I guess. He's not that old, but still, he's not really a mobile guy. He might wear a bigger brace on it, but that's a lot of people do that preemptively. Jimmy G's going to play. He might have a grade 1 MCL sprain, but it's not going to be anything to worry about. They aren't going to say anything about it. He might just be on the injury report right now. But
I mean, he can't not, right?
Yeah,
season
no
kind of
one
hangs
else.
on.
You're not going to have Brock Purdy.
You're not. No, it's not going to be.
Jimmy G's playing unless he can't walk. He played with the thumb halfway being attached. He's playing.
And like you said, he's not mobile enough to where it really disturbs his
Doesn't really matter.
performance.
Yeah, he's not losing shit. He can step up in the pocket with a grade 1 MCL sprain.
I do want to welcome Timo.
Welcome.
Am I in there?
Yeah, you're in there.
Hey, what's going down? Quick little mic check.
How was your fantasy week this week?
My fantasy week, balled out. I'm actually first. I think you're second, huh?
Yeah.
You're second. All right.
No, this is a
Painter
painter gain league.
Painter gain.
If I don't win it, at least you can win it. Like, because
Yeah.
I think I like how I always do. I'm gonna fucking just choke.
Uh,
Choke at the end.
Slick Fargo, I do want to know who your 2 quarterbacks were. For he said he's 5
Oh,
and
5 and
7
7.
right now.
Yeah, Slick
Yeah,
Fargo
a
got
lot
to
of
get us
teams
the
are 5 and 7
DL.
right now in most fantasy leagues. I think.
That's
5
the
and 7
weirdest thing
is-
about the league is we just have so much.
It's
like,
our last place basically.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think I had Kyler Murray showed up, did great. Who else? Oh, Chubb got a nice little touchdown at the end, so he went cool. Eckler just got a whole bunch of PPR points.
Right.
Yeah.
So he
you
just does
just
his thing.
basically rode on the ride or die with the Browns now as you go in.
Fuck, I know. I
Good
hate
luck,
that.
man.
The
That
Browns.
sucks, but
Yeah. Well, yeah, Watson for sure. Watson's gonna start this week. I have to start him against
Oh,
Houston.
you're all in.
Well, you know, kinda. Just run the ball. Like that's why I wanted Kyler Murray because he like runs, but he doesn't run no more. So hopefully
Watson's not really a runner like that though. He's more I
But
can
he'll break,
scramble in
though.
the pocket and I throw. He's kind of like Mahomes.
yeah, he'll get the 9. He'll get like the
Right.
9-yard gains, but he's not busted off. Like he doesn't
He's
see it.
not-
He's
yeah,
like,
nobody-
I'm
nobody's
picking
like
this
Lamar.
green grass up. Like I'm gonna keep
Uh,
running till
he
I see someone
creates
come
time.
kind of close.
Right.
And then
Like if it's
Oh, so
open,
he's
it's
still
like-
always looking downfield, basically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's more Mahomes like to where Mahomes can bust
That's
it,
cool.
but
That's
he's
cool.
trying to get
Just-
more time.
yeah.
yeah, drop
I just want him
Russell
to go
Wilson. That guy
crazy.
sucks. One of my favorite
Yeah,
running
that
things on
sucks.
TikTok
Oh, damn,
is the guy that
he got Hurts. That's a good
he
pick.
should be. I mean, he's still 5 and 7. He hasn't been paying attention. That's not bad.
No, for not paying attention.
bad.
Because
Yeah.
Hurts, I bet you
starting
Hurts
bias.
is just
Hurts has
going
been
off.
balling.
Yeah, Hurts is probably going
My,
crazy.
my
job.
favorite thing on TikTok right now is the guy who every week he goes in and
Bathrooms
says,
and touchdowns.
yes, the Russell Wilson bathrooms and touchdowns. When will he score more touchdowns than he has bathrooms in his house? He's still under. I think he has
It's
12,
like
what,
it's
12
bathrooms, 8 touchdowns.
Yep.
So we don't
Wow.
even know if he's gonna. He
He
pass
might
at
not
this
cross in the
point.
season. That would be one of my favorite things.
That's pretty.
I watched a TikTok that was talking about his contract. Right, basically, if they don't cut him this year,
30 mil.
and then like the next 2 years, like I think in one of the next 2 years, the dead space gets as high as like 70 mil. Like it's absurd. Like
Yes.
it's and he takes home so much guaranteed money. He fleeced them. Shout out to matter of fact, because I'm a Raiders fan. So shout out to Russell Wilson for going out
Way to
there
fleece him,
doing
yeah.
the Raiders work. I
That's true.
appreciate you.
James did for sure 100% call Broncos just failing.
I called it. I
But you
called
know,
that, and I
it
called
makes
the-
sense though. It makes sense because you've always been like a big Russell Wilson fan. So seeing his decline, you kind of already knew.
knew.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Just like I
that
called.
was it. Like the Raiders, like the Raiders situation where you were like, "Oh no, the Colts are gonna beat us." And I was like, "Nah, I'm going Raiders. Come on!" And you're like, "No, I've seen this like
Seen
a
this
thousand
movie.
times. Like I've seen this."
It- it's funny because in like the Raiders chat we have, like me, Trevor, and Danny, we'll kind of call the script as it's happening. So
Yeah.
like we'll get.
I think we
back.
were 1 week early on predicting. All right, here's our run that's gonna pull us right back in it.
Yep. And
And
like
here we are.
at the end of the game, I thought Gino was gonna go through and get the. I thought that if the DK catch was a catch, he
Yeah.
probably would have. But we got kind of lucky with that.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it, but we can. Haku says, did we
yeah,
talk about
Bryce
the
Harper's.
Bryce Harper injury?
Yeah, he got Tommy John.
Tommy John.
He got Tommy John, which
whoa.
is weird for a non-pitcher. Was it on his right arm?
Let me see.
It depends because he's a righty, right? He's a righty swinger.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
If it's done on his right arm, I'd be more concerned as if it was his left arm. UCL on his right elbow.
Right elbow.
I'm fairly certain he's a righty, and outfielder. He might DH before he goes into outfield.
That's what they say. They're expecting him by All-Star break to come back in DH.
All-Star break. When is that?
July.
Yeah. So I mean, that's
July
some time.
from now. Like November. Yeah, 6 to 9 months. Probably closer to 9 for like an actual like professional baseball player. That sounds about right.
It's a lot of usage.
I remember Tommy John used to wipe you out. Remember you just like
well,
never be the same.
95% of Tommy John was either catcher or pitcher.
Oh wow.
You don't
What
really have for throwing it back. So for throwing it back and
You
then
just don't get so often now.
Yeah, so it's the basically
Ooh.
repetitive, and then I cock the gun back to shoot someone out at second, rip it.
Ah, damn.
And so it's the amount of throws that a catcher does in a game
That is true.
is the most out of any
'Cause
position.
My niece plays like catcher. She likes it so much because she's always.
You're
doing
always
something.
throwing, you're always doing
throwing,
something.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why catchers. And they come out of the
Interesting.
squat, and it's you don't use your legs when you throw because you're literally using all arm 90% of the time.
Right.
Otherwise, it's very
That's
like
crazy.
When you're in
intensive on
outfield
you.
and you're putting a big throw to like gun somebody out, you're kind of putting your whole body together to twerk it. But
whole body, and you're usually going around the ear over.
right,
And so if you're coming, they do the hop, step, gather, and you're coming up and down, and you're doing this, and it's more of a straight kind of throw as opposed to a flick like a pitch.
right.
So you're getting more of your body and shoulder under it. So that's why outfitters don't really have it as much. Is you usually almost like a cricket ball when you go over top and come down with it. They don't have as many elbow problems because of that, just because the way that it's thrown going over. But sounds about right. Probably is going to DH. The one thing is, if it was his left one, I think he'd do DH earlier because swinging, it's a backhand coming down, because that's the other thing too, is the hit and the kind of the reverb from the
he actually
contact of the ball.
bats left, throws right.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
then he might be able to. Yeah, I mean, you're still doing some stuff. He might DH earlier than that.
Interesting.
He might DH at
Just depending
7,
on how
yeah.
dealing. He's not too old either, right?
7 months. So right before the All-Star break, he might come back to do. But they might just wait for the All-Star break at this point. Now I'm thinking about it
He's
like,
30.
yeah, they're probably gonna wait after that just to give him that extra week and a half.
Yeah.
What is the All-Star break?
It's
Week?
old in like
About a week.
elite athlete terms, I guess.
They might take him through BP stuff. He'll probably be doing BP before the All-Star break, and you'll see him. He'll probably be doing BP for like a month.
They do a little minor league.
He might do
Like
like a
minor league stint.
simulated. He might do a minor league stint, but I think he's gonna be doing. That's gonna get annoying. He's gonna be like, "Oh, he's coming back early. He's doing BP already," and it's gonna be like
Right.
May,
Yeah.
and then
yeah.
people, oh, and then he's gonna go through like the simulated BP for like 2 months, and then he's gonna come back. So I think that's what's gonna kind of happen with that. But yeah, that sounds about right. Is like right around the All-Star break seems like an adequate time to come in.
That's cool. And then real quick for Slick Fargo, he said on the waiver wire, I think he said Goff.
No, Cousins. I saw that. Pick up Cousins. Do Cousins.
Pick.
Just ride or die with him. Pickett. You can't rely on Pickett.
James,
Just-
how do you feel about riding or dying with Cousins since you have Cousins for the whole year?
No, it's funny because I have I'm riding or dying with Cousins right here. Cousins in car. I got
Cousins
to
in
put
car.
myself in like hell, like purgatory, right? And in my other league,
You did this yourself.
I've been I got a quarterback late, and I was really high on Jameis because I was kind of eyeing him, but I didn't want to go too high. He got
I
hurt.
remember talking about that with
So
you.
I've been rolling with golf, and it's golf gang over here, baby.
Is it
Yeah.
real? Well, I am
putting up
Amon Ra's
20s,
one of his biggest
25s.
fans.
I see the week I started golf, he gave me a 6, so I don't know.
That's
if
the
I'm
worst week I've had with golf. Other than
Oh, really?
that,
So then consistent
I'll
from
be
like 10
rolling
to
with golf.
25.
Oh
Hey, man.
yeah,
Ride or die.
Golf.
If you want to get he takes Cousins is the safer bet.
It is safer.
Cousins is a
all or
safer bet
nothing,
for
though.
sure.
Golf
goes
is all or nothing.
Yeah,
'cause
because the Brown or the Lions could just lay an egg and never score, and they just never get the ball back because they're
But
just
see,
past
they
a crazy
score.
pass. I know.
They
Apparently
just get scored on. a
their
lot.
their offensive play caller is apparently like this weird like young guru. Like
He's cool.
Apparently like
I-
no one
I
knew
like
him in
the
the league,
Lions.
and he's getting like the most praise around the league for like being like, this guy knows his shit.
Yeah, I like the Lions a lot.
Their staff is solid. Their staff is. I watched Hard Knocks, and it's almost including Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn, Deuce Staley, Mark Brunell is the
A bunch of old players. I love it.
and it's a cool atmosphere. And there was very early on when the Lions were struggling, the talk in like Detroit beat writers was, we got to fire Dan Campbell. It's not working. But the one thing that I learned from Hard Knocks, though, and one thing I know about football is if the team believes in the head coach and the head coach hasn't lost the locker room, it's going to be okay. Even if they were to continue to lose.
The Daniel
Yeah,
Jones.
that's
But
true.
they'll go and win.
It's true.
Daniel Jones.
Exactly. Exactly.
Keep it. Brian Daboll is keeping that shit together with scotch tape and bubble gum.
Right. Because
working.
they fuck with them.
Yeah.
He's a good head coach.
Yeah, if the Giants weren't as worse than the Cowboys, it just messing up themselves, they could have had a chance beating the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
This is breaking news, actually. Do you guys know who the Liver King is? Right?
I've seen
The Liver
things
King?
of it. Like I've seen pictures of him, but I don't know what his deal is.
You
What's
know,
Slick? Explain to me what the Liver King is. I seen the guy, and I seen that he's like super buff, looks like a caveman. I don't know why it came on, but it came on to like my feed or something. It might have been on like Twitter or something, but I came up on something and was trying to I don't know what it was. Who is Liver King? What's going on with that?
The Liver King is this dude who I'm trying to see why I can't get the screen up. This dude who basically eats raw meat.
Oh, I've heard of this dude.
He eats like the liver, like he eats like
That's what I assumed.
and he's ripped, right? So he made
And
this
he's ripped.
idea.
Yeah, like I've seen
that,
pictures of him.
like,
Exposed one day ago, 14 hours ago.
Oh, they got him.
I heard
my
about this
gosh.
though. He so there used to be more videos of him actually
Oh, he's
eating.
exposed.
but man just got exposed.
Damn, dude.
So what?
I can't even get this to come up.
Interesting. Interesting. What's the why is it a scandal? Like, is it just is he like
Just because he's probably made so much money off of like I eat all the raw meat and this is how you
Right.
get jacked.
He made it seem like
Interesting.
I
He was the
do
most-
this just because I eat my diet. So you should also eat.
No,
you-
that's not a good thing. You should I do not recommend that, people.
So
Yeah.
this the Liver King here. Oops. Get this over here. So this is the Liver King, right? Now, I don't know if like this video is gonna have it, but man's was like just eating raw meat.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find him. And like his
'Cause
whole
I've,
thing.
I've heard of him before.
Not only that, but he was like telling like
Oh, okay.
he was like, "Oh,
What is
my
it?
kids eat raw meat. Like
My
the
kids eat
whole
raw
fam
meat."
on raw meat. Like
Oh,
that's all we
no.
do."
No, this is a bad choice, people.
Don't have it, man.
See, that's the thing about what we were talking about, like on the internet. You see shit, and people are like, "Oh, whoa, I mean, he does it, so I'm gonna do it too." Like that is literally the worst shit. That's what we always talk about here.
My
on
better
Painter
half
Game.
has got to be so annoyed with me. Anytime something like that comes up, I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever. Why is that a thing? I can't believe.
Yeah,
He just has to
exactly,
listen to me like complain about the dumb things that I hear. I'm like, I could just like not listen or care.
But I mean, like all things. Like if you were to look
I mean,
at this guy,
now he's making money from.
you would
all
say this guy's on steroids, though, right?
Well, that's
100%.
Like as soon as you look at him,
Yeah, there's not a doubt in my mind. Look at it, his veins are popping out. The muscle.
So
the
I
belly of
found
his
out from
muscle is
somebody
bigger.
who's taking steroids is that the best way you could tell in somebody that's taking steroids is the shoulders. If the shoulders are just super like plumped
Yeah.
up, they're 90%, 95% of the time taking steroids.
There's 0% chance I'd look at that guy's abs and be like, that's natural. Look at that. Look at the way that is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's not. I would never think that.
yeah, no way. Can't even find a good Liver King video.
So well, ever
anymore
since he got exposed, they didn't even show him eat. Oh, is that one? Oh, what the hell is this guy doing?
this guy's the new Liver King.
Let's go.
He's like, "No, guys, I'm gonna put the team on my back."
It's still dumb.
Oh man.
Let's check out what he's
This
eating.
guy is.
Oh, don't tell me you're really just gonna start eating raw meat, dude.
It's such a bad. Don't do it, people. Please.
So maybe
don't.
it's not raw meat. Maybe he's actually gonna cook it.
Well, this guy looks
Okay,
like
he
he's
is-
gonna cook
so-
it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Carnivore meal prep. All right. See, I can be okay with that.
Heart, tongue, liver, bones, and more. Dang, he really goes all out, huh?
I'm kind of in. Like I like lengua.
Well, that's cool. I like tongue too. Not bad. Liver
Yeah.
though,
You
I
guys
don't think I've tried liver and I don't like it. See, the thing about from my Mexican culture, like they literally eat
It's the
everything
shirt.
of the head of the cow.
Most cultures do, except American culture.
Haku said it's funny how people still get tricked by traveling salesman type characters. That is pretty wild. Like, and
Yeah.
you know the thing is, and you guys talk about it on Painter Gain a lot too, where it's like, it's really not that hard to do things with your health. It's just it's kind of like what Timo always says, where people will start losing weight, like people he's training, and then they'll be like, all right, but how do I lose 10 more? These pills might do it. This might do it.
Yeah.
Eating fucking raw liver might do it. And it's like, it's not that hard. It just takes time.
back to my natural Neanderthalic roots that increase my metabolism. No, dude, just put some cinnamon in your coffee in the morning, dog. Jeez.
Haku said there was definitely a guy going around during medieval villages
Yeah,
trying
all
to
of-
convince people to eat raw meat.
All of these things, people are like, "Oh yeah, like I can't believe we got scammed by this," and it's this shit's going
That
on
is
now.
true,
Just
though.
stop being
Definitely back in the day, people were like, "Nah, eat this like root that I found, and this is gonna give you the
Because
so
most."
weird. Just
Imagine-
just don't do it.
Back
Just
then,
not.
though, there was like literally no checks and balances of science. So it was like, no, if you eat a
Trust
deer
me.
heart, it'll actually make you grow.
You'll have a
And the
whole
thing-
nother
yeah, that's
valve
like-
in your
yeah,
heart.
I
Who
mean,
can
like-
say no or yes?
Alright.
Who can be like,
deer.
like who's fact checking you?
Dog,
You know what I'm saying?
The amount of people who had to have like lived their entire life and dying thinking that if you ate like a watermelon seed that you have a watermelon tree grow inside you is probably much higher than
Yeah, for real though.
what everyone thinks.
Yeah,
I will say this though. Prayers up though to the, and I'm giving my respects to the guy in every village back then that basically was the crash dummy to test berries and
yeah,
plants.
dude.
Because somebody had to do it, right? Somebody had to be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, you try this," and he's just like, "I hope that I don't. This is good." And like the last guy, he died. That
I
one
hope
was
they
bad.
just named the bushes after the like. No, that's fucking. That's the Jerry berry. You don't eat that.
like boysenberries named
For
after
real,
a guy
yeah.
named Boysen.
Yeah.
Boysen. Yeah, R.I.P.
Like,
to
he
Boysen.
dubbed the good berry.
Boysen was a real
Boysen
one.
survived, and we've never named someone Boysen in his regard.
Like,
Yeah, because people were trying a whole bunch of stuff. Like you just see. it
Well,
on the
'cause,
ground, maybe this is good.
I think about this all the time. Like before you knew anything, somebody had to figure it out, right? Somebody had to put their life on the line for
Straight up.
this. Like imagine the first guy that got like poison ivy. He's like, how come all plants good? How long did it take him to realize it was that plant?
You start scratching the shit out of this.
I like to think that they were like, these are poisons. We have 3 plants which are poison. You got a guy named Ivy, you had a guy named Oak, and you had a guy named like fucking Jerry. And then Ivy and Oak took the hit, and Jerry was like, "Well, I don't have this itchy thing, but I guess I don't get anything named after me." And meanwhile, like Ivy and Oak are sitting there high fiving each other, also getting stuff. They're
Skin
like, we
just
did
falling
it.
off and everything.
Yeah, I'm Ivy.
but you know,
No one should ever be named Ivy anymore.
it's also dope though that like those ancient civilizations were able to have some sort of without science, without like anything. They had some sort of like medical like okay,
Yeah,
but if you take
semblance,
these
yeah.
berries and put them in here with this herb, it'll
I have to
actually
crush
make
it
you feel
first
better.
though, and then
Right.
something happens.
Rub that on your poison ivy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you'll be fine.
Well, didn't the Romans like used to do crazy stuff on their like the people they held captive?
Yeah, they used to test.
I mean, that's like
Which
it's like they don't care about them. You know what I'm saying? They're like,
I
oh, we
mean,
found this.
it progressed medicine.
That's basically
What do you
every
wanna do?
Somebody had to
Like,
learn.
Sorry.
Somebody had
every-
to take the fall, bro.
every leap in medicine has always been like some gruesome slavery.
They've always
type
been
thing.
stepping on some sort of civilization's head to do the leap of like, you guys are screwed because you guys are gonna have to help me with this.
Right, like
We're just
hey,
gonna keep breaking arms till we figure out how to split them.
at a certain point, like, you know, it was like rats and it was goats though. Like when it became like a bad look to just use humans, it was like, all right, let's just try to. Didn't I tell you guys the story of the brain transplant? Right, it was this.
Huh.
this
Yeah, you told us about that.
Right,
Yeah.
this doctor that
Didn't he like
No,
do it on himself or something?
no, so it was doctor. It was like this crazy Russian like billionaire,
Mhm.
right, gazillionaire, right? That was like, I want to get it done. I have all the money to do it.
And he became the
Put
guy.
my
Yeah.
body on like my brain on a different brain. They even this is actually what I remember telling you guys. They had to create a new scalpel that was made out of pure diamond
Oh,
because
yeah, I
it had to be
remember.
like the
Yeah,
finest
yeah,
of
yeah.
because you're basically cutting the whole spinal cord, all that, taking the brain out, hoping that it stays alive, like it's working,
Just
And
enough.
then
put
you
it on
it
something
has to be a
else.
fine enough cut so where it's reconnected.
And they actually got it on a rat, and it worked for like because they kept trying it, and it kind of worked. And eventually, like a technique that they had worked, and just before they were gonna do it, he decided not to because he got like a girlfriend and like
I have
My
a
life is good now.
like oh, I'm gonna have kids, like all that, like that's all it took. That's a good movie right there, actually. That's a
good
fire movie.
Yeah, it would be.
Haku
Haku,
said,
yeah. Read that out.
The way
see it?
I've heard it told in a Native American histories, they would only eat the things that they observed animals eating, as far as
Smart.
plants and berries and things like this.
smart.
That's it.
That's how you
right
gotta do
there.
it.
That's easy
For real,
and
you're
simple
like,
as that.
do they die?
To be fair, now animals just eat a bunch of raw meat. So you win some,
Oh,
you lose some.
shit.
yeah.
You win some, you lose some.
The first time they cooked
Berries
some
and
meat,
plants.
Yeah, I bet you. Yeah, I was like, before they had fire, they was only eating raw meat.
That, or they were doing like a beef jerky type of thing where like
Mm.
they were just laid in the sun for hella long.
Oh,
They were just like fucking just keep it out here on this rock for just fucking
Make
See
it
what
thin
happens.
as fuck.
right, exactly, and just because I think that was actually a lot of Native American meals was like a jerky type of because it lasted longer.
Yeah, they
Like,
could
it was,
dehydrate
like,
and keep
good,
it in there in the
right.
sun and hang it, and
Good
that's it.
preservation.
You had to hang it from trees to keep it away from like predators and shit. Yeah,
That
That's
was pretty
interesting,
fire
though.
what they would do with hey, PETA, don't come after me. All right. We talking about the old days back in the day. But I always like thought it was cool that you know, because Native Americans especially, they weren't just like hunting, like it was a spiritual experience to hunt because they knew and you kind of gave thanks to the body for like
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
soulful.
and
You're
you,
taking
you
something.
used everything. So I thought it was always cool. It's like you were just using like the deer's death didn't go in vain. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You used
They
like
honored the deer. Yeah.
the skin, like the fur and everything like that for your own
and the
like
antlers for
well,
like their tools and stuff.
Right.
And yeah,
that shit was lit. Shout out to Native Americans.
Yes,
Like
sir.
a big
Yes, sir.
shout out.
Facts.
From Native American tribes to Eli Mitchell.
the
Elijah
guy,
Mitchell.
the guy with glass, everything.
Yeah, poor kid.
Drop him.
Yeah, dude, he's got
Forever.
six. Probably the good news, bad news. You want to hear the good news, the bad news first?
What's the good news?
Good news is it's not the same knee.
Okay.
Bad news, it's basically the same thing.
Mm.
So it's another. He's gonna be another 4, 6, 8 weeks. They might have him test it to see how it goes throughout the week, and then put him on IR, which will be 4 weeks. But the new rule is you can have 8 people come off of IR in the same year. So if they put him back on, it'll only be 4 weeks, and they can take him off, then get a new roster spot. But if they put him on, it takes a spot if they try to get someone back off, like Kinlaw, or if they try to put Bosa back on or something. If something happens, so I don't know entirely,
Yeesh.
but I wouldn't trust him for now.
Not even-
I held on to him in a league and like used him for a week, and I'm gonna drop him. I'm not gonna have any reservations about it. I won't feel bad about it. If he comes back, it's gonna be at the end of the year when they have that some Jordan Mason or something, another random undrafted rookie, because that's the Niners just produce him,
Right.
and he just like did well in absence, and I'm like, well, he's probably not gonna get any more than 30% of the carries anyways.
Yeah, no, CMC's going to turn up towards the end of the year, straight up.
CMC,
They're
they're gonna
kinda-
start
they're-
getting
yeah.
they're gonna start getting the other rookie involved to try to have a change of pace. Shanahan loves using 3 backs. Like
Now, what is interesting, and I didn't have him on here because it seemed more speculative, but when I
Christian
went to
McCaffrey?
it, they did have CMC on the watch out because I guess a lot of people are thinking, why is he really not playing a lot still? Like at first couple weeks, maybe first week or two was like, well, maybe he's still learning the offense. Still, it's a very limited role for what you gave up for him. You know, you didn't give up, for a limited
Right.
role type of player. Do you know of any kind of lingering things that he's maybe dealing with? I know he missed a couple practices and such.
yeah, so good news, bad news again. Which one do you want?
What's the good news with CMC?
Good news is it's not something that's going to keep him out of the games immediately.
Mm.
Bad news is I had to say immediately. This is probably going to be a lingering thing. I know he has. I'm trying to find they didn't use this word, but it's basically what it is. They just said he had some lingering knee troubles. They call it an internal derangement, which means you don't have like anything torn. There's nothing like technically wrong with it, but there's like just not everything right.
Because it's been hurt before.
So it's going to be one of those things. It's like if you hurt a little tendon, like you should be able to play, but it's going to be sore. How much can you take? What it's going to be your limitations as far as pain? Is it going to be painful enough to where it's affecting the way you're cutting? Is it going to affect when you get hit? Good thing it's knee, not shoulder or anything. Well, not good thing, but it's knee, not shoulder. So I don't know. Fumbling shouldn't be an issue, but there might be a time he gets hit in it. He might miss a few plays to stay out of
Right.
the game for it. So he might be in and out of the game. You might not see him for a series or something because it gets hit and needs to kind of calm down.
Mm.
But this is going to be a thing that's going to last. Like if he could take like probably 4 weeks off and have it fine. But I don't see the Niners doing that right now. Maybe more than 4 weeks.
They have a tough 4 weeks coming up. This will
Yeah,
be
they're gonna try to
real
get that
push.
first round bye is gonna really matter if they can get it. They're gonna have to beat out the Eagles for it,
Yeah.
and so it's just gonna be week to week. He'll play though. I would start him no matter what. Start him no matter what, but like don't be super concerned if he like leaves the game for any
Because
reason.
that's just kind of the nature.
Yeah, if
of
he
it
like
right
limps
now.
off and be like, well, he could be back and he could not be back. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's going to be kind of like if he takes it home to the he might miss a couple series or whatever, but he should be able. He's not going to miss the game for this, but it's going to be something. He's going to be on the injury report for.
Has he
here on
been
out.
running pretty well, or has he kind of just been pretty average?
I think he's just been. I think he's more integral in the passing game, from what I understand.
He's just not playing a lot.
yeah,
as much as you
they're
would
trying.
think.
I think they're trying to limit his touches, and also like Elijah
Save
Mitchell's
him.
not bad.
Right.
Like
Save
he's
him
a
to the
solid
end
running
of the
back
year.
still. So, I bet they kind of wish they still had Mostert, but whatever.
And I
Or
think
Jeff Wilson. I mean, either one of them they could still have and be.
Yeah,
I
honestly,
wouldn't
Jeff
be very
Wilson's pretty
concerned.
nice. He was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's solid. So,
But now they're probably like, oh shit.
but McCaffrey, I wouldn't be worried about
Didn't Jeff
missing
Wilson
any
get traded?
weeks.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
went
he
to the
got traded in
Dolphins.
the middle of the year for like a 5th round pick.
So
for the
Dolphins,
got Mostert
Wilson
and-
and Mostert are going to play their old
Yeah.
team
Yeah.
Oh shit.
this Sunday.
So
And
I would-
McDaniels
I would
too,
be,
gang.
Not concerned with.
Oh, and yeah,
McCaffrey.
McDaniels.
I got a couple that I want to get through that are pretty big here. We got Joe Mixon.
Mixing concussion. He's positive progression through the concussion protocol.
That's
So he's not cleared to play from the concussion protocol, but all the reports are he's progressing through and he hasn't missed a day on him. The thing with the concussion protocol is you just don't want to have the lingering symptoms. As soon as you get symptoms again, it restarts.
Right.
So there's kind of checkpoints you get to, but once you get to a certain point, it's like, all right, we got to go, X amount of days with no symptoms. If you get it, we got to fucking restart. Sorry. So they're not going to rule him out unless he gets something. But if they rule him out, they'll rule him out on like Friday or something. Because then he'll have the symptoms and that'll be whatever. So I don't think this is going to be a game. If he's questionable leading up to the game, I think he's playing.
Okay.
Okay. They'll rule him out before Sunday for sure, if he's not playing. So I would play him, put him in your starting lineup, and just kind of monitor.
You
it.
have him. You are playing him.
I am gonna
Are
be
you
playing
playing?
him. Yeah. So I'm gonna. He's gonna be in my starting lineup, but I'm like gonna check at like 9:30 in the morning to go check the.
Get a final look
Yeah,
on it.
I'll look at it and be like, well, I have a backup plan, but I don't want to have to. But that's what he's progressing through protocol positively.
Okay. Well, we're on track.
Yes,
We're on track.
he's
right here.
on track to play Sunday.
Now this one I would like to know.
ETN. So his was weird. Good news, bad. No, I'm just kidding.
I can't handle the
Not
bad news.
not
Just
really
give me all
bad
the
news,
good.
but like there's explanation, then there's good news.
Okay. What's the explanation?
Explanation was the same foot.
Okay.
So that's why they left him out all games, because he was running up the sideline. He could have played. I think they were kind of being overly cautious with him because he's having his breakout year and they don't want to mess him up even further.
Right.
So I think they were being cautious, but it's not to the point. Like, he wasn't walking around in a boot or anything afterwards. He was walking around fine after the game. He's okay. I think he's going to be fine. I think it was more precautionary because it was the same foot. They wanted to take it slow. X-rays were negative. MRI imaging was negative as far as I'm aware. I think it was just overly cautious because it was the same foot.
Well, that's cool.
And it was a foot sprain, so I think they were just being really careful with them. And then their Jermichael Hasty played well. So, like, the backup running back, I think they were like, all right, we're going to keep you out for a little bit. Let's see how it goes. And, we'll just ride this hot hand because he's doing well right now. Let's keep with Jermichael Hasty and the other guy, whoever the other guy is. I don't remember who it is.
Well, I don't mind. Let's get you healthy. You're on my team, ET. I know you're watching right now. And then, it's okay because Josh Jacobs went for 175 points.
You couldn't
so
have done nothing about it.
It
Yeah.
wasn't
no
gonna happen.
choice.
It's
It
all
was
right.
He
It's
knew.
like,
So
hell.
you made the call down. Hey, leave him out.
Just
Hey,
take him out.
Jacobs
about
is
it.
going off.
Josh Jacobs
Just-
is going
it's
crazy.
cool, man.
Now the big one.
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. Discount double. I miss those commercials. I don't really like Aaron Rodgers, but like I love those commercials.
They were cool.
I think Aaron
He was-
Rodgers.
I like the weird
is-
cheesehead guy. Give me that guy. Give me that guy back, and give me the original Jake from State Farm back. Am I the only one on that bandwagon? I miss the old khakis. I miss that guy.
He was.
I was so relatable to that guy.
He was a one-hit wonder. Do you know the story
I
of
loved
that?
him.
Is they actually, one, they never knew the commercial would get that blown up. Two, he actually was just Jake from State Farm. Meaning
Yeah.
he wasn't an actor, like he was just a guy. And then when they were like, "Oh shit, we need an actor," he's like, "I'm not a fucking actor." So they actually got the current Jake from State Farm. He was just literally, I think they shot it at his desk. Like he was just Jake from State Farm.
He was an
Yeah.
actual Jake from State Farm.
But-
I don't care. Give me that guy then. Make him. I want him to be weird. I want him to be awkward in all the commercials. Be that stupid guy.
Are you talking about a State Farm multiverse?
I'm
Maybe
in.
multiple
The
Jakes.
real Jake.
Multiple Jakes.
I want real Jake.
Real
This
Jake.
is a
Just
poser
saying.
Jake from State Farm. This is
State Farm?
This is a dolled up State Farm.
I'm not.
Give me the real Jake.
I'm gonna be honest, and it's not just because of my personal feelings, but I don't like Mahomes State Farm commercials. I think they're weak.
No, him. I love Andy Reid too. I think the mustache thing is weird. Stop it.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I don't
the
care for
plain
him.
drawing. Bubble baths. I'm a bubble bath guy. Come on, Mahomes. You can
Aaron
do better than
Rodgers
that.
played the
He
deadpan
plays the
funny
soft
well.
role.
Yeah, because he
That's
was
all it
like,
is.
it seemed like he was annoyed. I bet he was genuinely annoyed with State Farm asking him to do that stuff. Like, I feel like Andy Reid emails State Farm and is like, guys, listen to me now.
Can you not?
We just drew up this third down play, but I had an idea, so I'm emailing you right now. And I bet he sends them these ideas, and they're like, well, if he wants to do it, like,
Cool.
guys, I will pay you to do this. I don't know what Andy Reid sounds like. Maybe it doesn't sound like that, but like, I feel like that's Andy Reid and Mahomes are like drawing up plays, and then on the left they have a whole nother whiteboard dedicated to State Farm
Could try
commercial
some State
ideas.
Farm shit.
The worst. Oh my god.
I kind of had an idea that Aaron Rodgers' like personality became like Jim Carrey after they started like doing psychedelics and stuff like
Man's
that.
at the ayahuasca and just.
He's just like
man
trying to
just
be
changed.
weird funny now. Like
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I just feel like it's his.
But see, I
What
think he was
happened, man, dude?
always weird funny. Like I think he always was like this deadpan funny. I just think that kind of weird funny, when people turn on you, they don't like it no
It's
more.
old. Yeah, stop it.
That's the
you
thing.
Can't be that weird
That's the
funny.
kind of thing. But like, you know what?
You're an actual.
Is he playing
dick.
now?
You're an actual dick in real life. So
They're shutting him
they're
down?
still mathematically in it. I think he plays as long as they're mathematically.
Okay.
As long
The
as they
second they're out-
technically, as long as they can technically make the playoffs, Aaron Rodgers is going to play.
Aaron Rodgers as Jim Carrey theory is.
I
is
do.
actually
That's an interesting
gaining-
multiverse question.
We're about to start
Throw
that
it
on
in.
TikTok.
We did miss the Mooney one, but Mooney's done. He's done.
Yeah,
for
he's
the
done for the season,
Yeah,
right?
Done.
Now, I actually wanted
Sheesh.
to, getting out of injuries, if anybody has any questions, let us know. Haku says also he has like a Southwestern gold pan
Dude,
accent.
he's from California.
Yeah, that's
He
true,
went
though.
to Butte Junior College.
But he's from Northern California, and that's different California.
like
That's
Northern
not
Oregon.
California. That's Oregon.
Slightly, yeah, it's
Like,
That's-
oh yeah, he's like from Chico and stuff.
That's
Whatever.
different.
It
I
is
had
slightly
to I drove up to Portland and had to drive right through. At a certain
Oh,
point,
like Placerville and stuff.
yeah, that's not
Dude, that place is
California.
weird.
Like it's California in name
Oh,
only.
the city through you drive
Like
through the city of
Folsom.
weeds.
Folsom is still
Right.
kind of like Folsom and like Concord. Where's De La Salle at too? Is that Concord? No.
Concord.
Is that
Yeah,
Concord?
yeah.
So,
Once you
like,
get right past
Concord-
Concord,
You start getting like Sacramento, Folsom, but like west of that and like Placerville, and you just start going north is like some weird spaces, man. Like they still have like the Lions Guild clubs with like
What?
masonry meetings and stuff
Oh,
at
yeah.
pubs, like pubs that have been there for like
Yeah, that makes sense. Though.
90
yeah,
years.
it's like the sheriff and the
Oh my
the
God.
judge are in cahoots
Yeah.
still. Yeah, that is also as I'm saying. Aaron Rodgers is from that kind of
That
California.
makes sense.
That's different.
He also doesn't like speak to his family or anything anymore.
I want
Well, he
to.
probably changed after he went to Berkeley, because of Berkeley a little bit more open.
Well, wasn't his brother on like The Bachelorette or something? The
Bachelor.
Bachelor
There's a
Fuck up, bro.
rumor that that's the reason something happened.
with that,
where-
and that was why.
And you know, honestly, I'm gonna kind of devil's
in.
advocate for Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he was like,
Don't
I
use
don't
my
like
fame,
you,
dog.
right? You trying to like I did this, and you over here trying to get on the Bachelor. Maybe you telling my business to like no, I don't like that. Maybe that's what I don't know. I can't confirm. Aaron Rodgers,
Well,
hey,
we'll look it
come
up
on the
one
show on Paint a Game. Let us know.
Send us a confirmation clip for it, but
Now, if you guys and follow Painter Gain on TikTok or watch Painter Gain, that's the channel, the account. And I had a lot of fun editing the arm wrestling
Oh yeah.
videos, and I was going to
Those
see
are
those
funny.
posts
Those
up.
are
Those are
cool.
funny, and I thought that like because we looked up the arm wrestling training, right?
Yeah.
And this past weekend, if you were watching Chips on Haku's Hot Shot Props, he had a sumo wrestling one.
Oh yeah.
dude, I was watching that. I was at San
For real?
Pedro Market, yeah, and it was
Oh, they
on
had
there.
it up there.
Dude, I got obsessed. I was really rooting for crap. What are the names? If you have the names up, I would remember which one I was rooting for.
Oh.
He was like he was like almost perfectly 500, and then he went up against a guy that was like 700 and 200. Like that's his record.
700 and 200?
Yeah,
They hit like 900.
yeah, that guy
Damn.
up right up before that.
Him?
Yeah, that guy is the man. He's from Mongolia, I think.
Oh man, yeah, that's probably.
I wanna see.
If you see, if they had like the list of names, I'd be able to remember it because I got like enthralled with it. I watched it for like 20 minutes. It was stupid.
Is it
Hawoko?
Hawoko?
Yeah, I think it's the guy. Yeah.
See, I want to see like what the highlight tape look like.
Oh man, yeah, that's true. These guys are beasts, man.
He's considered like the best sumo of all time.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm like
Oh,
700 and 200. Like he's nasty.
Sheesh.
He's so good.
Oh, and the different type
And
of
he's like
techniques.
so
That
much
was, that's
heavier.
what I thought was kind of cool, like the for his props that he had, like
Yeah,
different type
the
of
ring
techniques.
out. The ring out.
Because there was like when I actually looked up the results, there were like 20 different kinds of techniques to do it.
Ring out. You can. It's a slap down. You can do a like a suplex, almost a throw out. I can't remember what the other
You
ones
know,
are.
I want to see the guy. How Oko.
Hakuho show. No. It's up there. He misspelled it. Hakuho.
Yeah,
watching sumo live would be crazy because it just goes like they just are like, all right, next person up, let's go do this. Next one.
Let's see what it looks like.
Like I want to see what the
Toy
goat look like.
is Toy Genius Shun the other one that I was looking at?
Like who's just the absolute goat? Because I went. Cause
Like imagine being like 700 pounds but hella fast on your feet.
Dog, he's so good.
Oh, he just does like backyard brawls.
Yeah, this is
These
probably,
old
like,
like
training and
Kimbo
stuff.
Slice videos.
hey, I'm feeling the little denim singlets are just like
Those are the
bottoms,
training dummies.
briefs.
He just tosses you.
Nah, you got to be quick with the.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, here we go, big competition.
He said, "Bring it. Who's next?"
See, that would be cool to do. Like we go travel the world and we just go see a sumo wrestling.
stuff.
Yeah,
That would
that's
be
him.
dope.
Like that's what I'm
That's
saying.
him.
Like I
Just-
want
he
to
looks
see.
terrifying. Like he just looks better. Look at the traps on that guy.
And you said he's like 500 pounds.
Oh no, not 500 pounds,
Oh.
but he's like, I'm trying to remember. He's just really good. Yeah, he's from Mongolia.
Haku,
Oh,
if you got his stats of like his size,
Dude, he's just good.
Oh, you thought, homie?
nah,
You
what?
thought that was sick. I've never seen that before.
Like that other guy's got to be so mad.
That
Like he
just-
could probably
he's
beat
probably
me anyway, and
pissed.
he just
like no way he just did that to me. Get the fuck out of here.
So you know who would probably be a good sumo wrestler is like Aaron Donald. Like the quick hands. It seems like you need like the
6'4",
quick. He's undersized.
340.
yeah, he's huge.
340.
I mean, offensive lineman. Some offensive linemen you have to go do some sumo stuff.
He would be the biggest offensive lineman, but like the quickest hands out of all offensive linemen. I'm surprised like NFL hasn't tried to like. I guess when you having
Well-
somebody get like brushing your hair though, like why would you go to the NFL?
Yeah, why would you go to NFL though? Like you're a
Like,
god.
I'm
over
that
there.
guy.
Yeah, it's like that's what I do.
Japanese hero. All right, let's see this guy.
Yeah, I wonder how. I mean,
It's like the opening.
Aaron
stance
Donald
here.
could definitely do.
Right? Okay, now he said bully style. He said you ain't gonna big body me though.
Oh,
You ain't gonna big body me.
oh,
Well, that was like a
smacked him.
punch.
Oh,
Yeah,
smacked him
stand your
again?
ground, and I'm turning you around and getting your ass out of there.
Get off me! Oh my god!
Man, why he didn't have to toss him off the platform?
Damn.
Hey, you try to stay on.
Oh, it's flexible. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, dang.
That is
Splits.
like
Damn, he threw him and just busted his whole face. Wow, why'd he do that? He was already out the ring.
Did he put a mirror to his face? Is this like the cut man?
They bring him something, and they do
Oh.
like a
He takes his
he does like some sort
livelihood.
Haku said he definitely crushed the spectator in the front row. I didn't
Of, yeah,
even
I
think
ain't,
about
going,
that.
I ain't going front row with these, man.
No way.
Dude, he just
Look,
bitch
he's like
slapped him.
smacked him, right?
He
That's what
bitch
I'm saying. You
slapped
can
him,
do that as part of the
Yeah,
thing.
doesn't matter.
Zoom. And he said, "Oh, you're going down." Oh! All right. So, what kind of injury do you think the guy in the first row had?
It's fucking super concussed once he hit the ground. Testicular
my
torsion.
All right,
God.
so Fargo, if we go to a match, we're second, third row though. we not first row with it.
Yeah. At least
The matches seem pretty quick too, which is not a lot of like combat sports where it's like I guess rounds where it's like 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's like one and done, huh? I bet you because there's probably a lot of competitors.
It's
You can
quick.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're doing like the top 10.
It's
maybe give
really
you a couple.
weird watching them. Like they slow mo the start because they come down as soon as the second hand hits the ground, they go.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like,
So I say put one hand down. As soon as the second one goes, you just fire off.
What?
Oh, he got him. He almost came back from the opie dope.
oh, he's not getting that one.
Not,
little wiggle,
not from a
gave him a
dude that's
little wiggle,
6'4",
he's like,
340.
"Fuck."
He gave him respect. He didn't throw him off because he dodged it at first. See,
I-
he knows. Look at that. Like, oh, this guy.
He read me.
Boom.
Ooh.
As soon as that knuckles hit, just move out.
That's
Damn,
crazy.
He did the Mahomes.
That's what I'm
said.
saying. Like for most of his, this is just more. He's just smarter than these guys.
Right, it's a chess move.
Yeah, that's not even like brute strength. It was like you're dumb.
Wow, he put the
Yeah, he just
fake
faked
out?
him. He saved himself, and he was like, "Oh shit!"
He turned around.
he
like,
turned around, and was like, "I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
die." And he's like, "Is he coming full speed at me right now?"
and then he was cooked.
Yeah,
He was on the edge,
"There's
no
way.
leverage."
There's no way. It's like I'm not gonna get lower than this guy.
Hakuo has 45 total career championships.
Oh, wait, no,
he
I gotta
just
bring this back.
Gave him a concussion.
He has how many?
45. Second place ever since 1909. 32.
Oh wow! Oh, he knocked him out. Look at it. He just knocked him out with
Wow,
his
a
whole body.
sumo knockout?
I've never seen a sumo knockout. Damn, he's
Dude, we got to get
concussed.
Vita in this.
No, Slick Fargo's right. Sumo's to be good nose tackle
Yeah.
because, like, can you imagine like Vince Wilfork size, but Makatsuo speed?
See, I think
Hakuo?
Wilfork for
Hakuo?
show could.
Why
do
don't
sumo
these guys
wrestling.
just play football? If I'm like a
Well, that's what I was-
mediocre sumo guy, I think I would go
No.
like try my luck. Like, hey man,
No, but you're
If
a
I'm like-
god though. You're a god.
But
in
if
this
like I'm
stuff.
average though,
if I'm an average, yeah. If I'm getting
Oh.
bodied by Hakuo every game, like,
I'm gonna switch up my sport. If I can like keep getting like this isn't even
would it still be
fair.
like they're just too slow?
Nah, that's a great takeoff. Especially like offensive, like if you play.
I
like
guess the
nose-
only other thing that I could think of is that the other like offensive linemen like, could actually grab your pads, so that might be a different thing. Like skin. to
I feel
skin
like these
contact,
guys are so
right.
agile. I feel like they could figure it out.
and they're just brute strength.
Top champions from before 1909. The highest is 28.
Oh yeah, so
From
he's
1790 to 1810.
Haku says shout out to Akinbono Taro, the first and only Hawaiian.
Yokozuna.
Let's see him. Let's check him out.
Akabono ranked 10th on the all-time list with 11 wins, 11 championships.
Oh, that's cool.
Akabono. Born
Oh.
his name is Chadwick. That guy's name is Chadwick. That guy's Chad.
Who the?
Akabono.
6'8", 514 pounds. Oh my goodness.
500?
500. He's 6'8", dog.
No, he means business.
Yokozuna is
no.
the highest rank of Hawaiian. Is the highest rank of
I wonder
sumo.
if they ever faced off.
No, he's in like 93.
Well, that's what I'm saying. See, look at like if you're doing sumo wrestling, like you're a god. If you're that guy, like they treat you like a god.
Yeah, but you got to get to Yokozuna. Like you got to get the highest like they're still like imagine being like a D2
Wait.
college boy.
Wait.
You look like Derrick Henry out there,
You
sumo
need to-
wrestlers.
This guy really did that.
Get out of here, bro.
No, that's he just put. Come on,
Yeah, what are you going to do to that guy?
come on.
5'14". That's like, oh man,
Like what are you going to do?
there's no way.
Wait, he caught him with one though.
Oh, he ended up getting.
Oh,
This is a good match. Who's he playing?
I guess this was a rivalry.
Oh wow,
Greatest
greatest rivalry.
Akabono versus
Dang.
Takahata.
I guess you got to. Okay, he uses his momentum.
Because it's the leverage thing, right?
Yeah,
right.
he uses momentum.
Oh,
That's tough. That's tough. They're doing great. Oh, he won it that year. Damn.
You know, I agree with Slick Fargo though. I think this might be a top 5 like sporting event to go to. This is lit.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there.
Oh, same guy? Oh, yeah. Oh.
It's the rivalry.
Rivalry.
Wait,
I wonder
In
how
their
many
younger
years.
days.
I want to
That,
see.
yeah, that looked like a little.
How do you work out for this?
Oh, their diet? Oh, workout.
Look
Oh,
at their
bruh.
diet after. Like who's?
Oh, put in super wrestler workout.
Like sumo workout.
Or there says sumo training right there too.
Sumo workout at home.
At home.
If you just want to be at the crib. Training with world's heaviest.
Oh my
Who
god,
the hell is
that just looks uncomfortable. Oh, it's the same guy that did the. That guy just went to Liver King's house. Oh my god.
Is it really?
Yeah. Jesse.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, he got the fucking the wax on, wax off. You learn by rolling
The
up
treatment, baby.
You roll it up, right? Now what?
Balls here.
This is the Johnson set. That's how big his is?
Oh, that's the
Like
thing
for
that
him.
goes.
Yeah, for him. Because he's so fucking big.
Oh my god.
Bruh. That thing's going to be bigger than his whole body, bruh. That's funny as hell.
Oh my god.
Okay, here we go. Oh. Oh, annihilation.
Oh
he
my
didn't,
God.
bruh.
Get
Did
the
he really?
fuck out of here.
Stop.
Get the fuck out
Basic
of here.
sumo training.
Is that dirt?
I mean, that makes sense. Try to get more of your.
Is this the locker room?
Oh, so there's different weight classes?
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Is like being like Yokozuna is like the
Ah.
highest.
Gotcha.
Like
It's like
that's the
heavyweight?
tournaments you go to.
Heavyweights. That's the heavyweights.
Like imagine like a mediocre boxer. Like you go back
Nah,
to
I
your
see what you're saying.
hometown. Like maybe but
No, you're low key training like a gymnast. Like you,
Yeah, 'cause they gotta be
Haku's right. You
super
have to be
flexible.
hella flexible.
I'm
like
gonna start. I'm gonna
your
do some of
glutes
these.
have to be like
I'm gonna do
so
some of
strong.
these.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta
your
do
groin. Yeah.
Yeah, your groin for that room got to smell. Imagine the smell.
Leg
Watch that one.
stretches.
Damn. Should've
I'm
been
gonna do
sumo
all of
wrestling.
these.
Wow, look at the
Oh shit!
flexibility.
I can't even.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Nah, he
was,
need to get his weight up. That guy not the. That's lightweight, featherweight.
So yeah, you got to go against heavier people to get better. Like that's it. It's like
It's got to be
figure
so
it
hard
out.
to gain
Oh,
weight
got
though,
him.
because that's so much like. Just
Yeah, that's not.
you
easy
have to be
gain that
burning
kind of
so
weight.
much calories.
that
Like,
room
so
gotta
many
smell
things.
Crazy. That's funny as hell. Pushing exercise. See, just.
Okay, so Dr. T, what kind of muscles do you think you're using in this?
Hip stabilizers.
Okay.
So like glutes, but like you have the glute medians and the glute mins. Like your inside glutes got to be strong as hell.
Slow.
They're just like all your
Yeah,
like
Timo was
just
saying the
all of your
groin
legs
even.
really.
I was about to say, so you're working a lot of sled. If there's like that sled type
Yeah.
of thing at your gym, and you want to do some sumo wrestlers
Yeah.
type of stuff, sledding.
But they're more like efficiency over like technique type of thing,
Hey,
which it is take a lot of.
Haku, if you got a video of the diet, like a representation of their diet, because you guys were just saying like it's got to be hard to like gain that kind of weight to the point that you're still flexible, that you're still
You're just solid. You're just solid. weight.
Yeah, but it's like even like just same thing with like football players. Like their workout has to be like their workout is like I feel like you got to burn similar amount,
Yeah, they're still like
but they're still
professional
like
athletes.
fit. These guys
yeah.
have to like
10,000
consume
bruh.
so
calorie?
much more because they need to bulk. Like you can't lose that weight. It's bad if you.
I wonder
lose
how
that
much
weight.
it costs. Well, I bet you that's probably why they eat a lot of rice and stuff, because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For like training and stuff like that. Like unless you're just raw meat guy and just eating hell.
okay, but you out here eating 10,000 calories.
the main dishes, I'm gonna try to. What is that?
So
Onions, green onions.
this is
ginger,
just for tonight.
mushrooms, eggs, protein. There you go.
that's a lot of veggies though.
Fish too. Lots of meat. He's just a whole mixture of meats and.
I guess you're just going to the grocery store and like what's big calories?
10,000 calories, dude.
10,000 calories, bro.
You practice to eat. Sometimes I bet you're just like, I don't want to eat.
Right. You know what was funny is I was watching this video where they were talking about like N1 basketball players, like could they compete in the NBA, right? It was like a TikTok.
Yeah.
And Nick Young was saying like, you know, no way, because I have to play basketball even when I don't feel like playing basketball, right? These guys have to eat even when like literally they don't feel like eating. Like there's no diet, there's no like you have to maintain this crazy fucking weight.
I'm gonna try to make this. I want to eat
Try to-
this.
no, you
but my
gotta-
own portion size though. Not 10,000 calories. I won't make it.
Let's see, he got the
Chunko.
the veggies.
Yeah, because he's still saying it's not junk food. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's real. Like
That's the
good.
thing, is it still
not
looks
junk.
like it's like good food.
Yeah.
Like it's quality veggies. It was like a salmon.
It was
He's
just
not eating like
I mean, I
junk.
bet you it's just like, okay, it's all the simple, like we always say, that make it simple. You don't have to make it crazy to, you know, lose weight or gain weight or bulk or whatever.
Yo, that's insane discipline to have to eat 10,000 calories and not eat junk. Like you are preparing meals, but I bet you he's gonna make the biggest pot and eat
like
it.
$200 to make his one meal for a day.
And
Spending
I'd
like
have
$1,000 each week easily, just on food.
Nah, true, to maintain that. Yeah, I wonder if you get sponsored.
Oh,
Haku
he's in his own
said-
kitchen. He ain't sponsored. That fool is literally just doing it himself.
Haku said those guys are basically bodybuilders under all that fat. They're like actual bears. That is,
That makes sense.
it's that real brute strength.
Yeah, they're probably just hella healthy.
It's like Fargo.
Oh, well, it's kind of like linemen too. Linemen are, you know, they're strong underneath. all
That's
that
true. Like they're still the top
Diet.
5% of
Big,
athletes.
yeah, there's still a diet to it.
And they just know how to get like even empty calories if they need it, because you just need calories to burn. So even
Ginger.
empty calories
Right.
are calories. Like it matters.
I hear a lot of good things about ginger.
You know, it's like Fargo makes a good point actually. The quality food and constant working out, even though they're big, they still seem healthy. That's the crazy thing, is it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like obese. It feels
Yeah,
like
they're
very
healthy on the inside. They just have
controlled,
their
right.
body knows I expel this amount of energy. I need to keep up this amount
To
of
keep this
like, reserve
physique.
present. Yeah.
Nah, those he's just taking.
Chanko, fool. If the chanko is just all I need to eat, bro, I'm just gonna eat chanko.
Nah, he's just making the biggest stew. He hasn't even put the meat in yet.
These are all just quality things. Like, all right, all of the vegetables refill like all of the nutrients that I need, everything, all the greens, all the stuff, and then it's just like fat meat rice.
Right,
Like
That's it.
meatballs.
Just everything.
You putting all the meat, just making.
Oh, he's just
meatballs.
making the fattest meatballs. Although they're small, there's just gonna be like 30 of them in there.
So it's probably easier to eat all that meat because it's like it's already kind of grounded up, anyways.
True.
Because again, it's like most of the time you're
You
probably
know,
just
like
tired of
cutting it,
chewing.
right.
Yeah. You're just tired of fucking
Right.
chewing, and
That's
maybe
actually a good
making it
point.
making it into a soup is probably so much easier to get down.
in your bathroom after that. Dude, the chanko looks.
It looks good as hell.
I guarantee he eats that entire pot too.
Oh, for sure. He just chills and just eats for like 3 hours.
Yeah, instead of having vegetables as salad, you just eat in the soup.
From the soup. See, I guess that's what I was thinking. I was like, has
Because
to
you
be
cook it
something-
in. You cook
Yeah,
it in the soup.
If the broth has everything,
So
It
you
doesn't-
need
well,
to have the broth.
You don't lose anything. All right, so I'm going on the soup diet.
Eat that entire thing, and then you have to
Yeah,
like.
hit
I'm going
the
on the
soup
soup
diet.
diet.
God, dude. I'm kind of down for a soup.
Because you
diet.
know, funny thing, we got an update on the TMO Slam.
Oh yeah,
Just gonna
so
tell him, yeah.
yeah, so as I'm like learning my sports nutrition class thing, and you know I eat raw eggs in my TMO Slam.
Yeah.
Sad news is that I found out that if you cook the egg rather than have raw egg, your body absorbs 90% of it when it's cooked, only 50% when it's raw.
'Cause you can't synthesize it, so it just gets it out of there.
Yep. So that's
That's
it.
I thought they debunked that pretty well. I guess it was pretty recently of the whole like you should have like 8 raw eggs before
Yeah.
going
Your
to
body
breakfast or
absorbs it
something.
cooked.
Yeah.
Timo was on his Liver King. He's like, I don't.
That was
listen
the
to
only
you.
thing that was like close to Liver King was my raw eggs.
But you know what? Maybe the soup diet might be because
I'm gonna try it.
I had never thought that. Wow, all of the nutrients are just gonna be
I
in
didn't
the
think
broth.
about that either.
Yes, Haku. Yes,
Yes.
the Timo Slam
Timo
consisted
Slam.
of. Can you tell him what was in the Timo
It was
Slam?
3 raw eggs. Just all egg white.
Not
all egg
just
white.
that.
Just all egg white. Oh yeah,
What else
so
is in
2
it?
bananas. What was it? 2 bananas, Nesquik, a little for flavoring. Then I had some
Nesquik,
oat milk, and what else was it? No, that's it. Oh no, oats. There you go. Boom.
The Lester is the worst of this. He said bananas, eggs, oat milk, oats, Nesquik.
Gotta get
By
a
the
little
way.
sweetness in there. You know what I'm saying?
He had Frankie was waking up.
That's what I grew
Eye of
up
the
with.
tiger every
For
morning.
real, that's what I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of stuck. But yeah, no more.
Rising up out on the tree.
It's a good pick me up.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so no more Timo slams. Now.
You know what? I thought that
soup slams. I don't know.
it's like a hot one, like a hot, like a tea, but a soup drink.
Mm.
You know how like I seen where was it? I was watching a game. It was like Ohio State or something. and it
Oh,
was hella
chocolate
cold,
for sure. Sorry, like Zara.
and they had on the sideline was like hot. I had a hot coffee and they had just broth. So it was like 5 degrees, 10 degrees. So when you didn't want to like drink water, but you still wanted to get some kind of replenishing thing, you would get some chicken broth and drink it on the sideline before you go back out to the. So there might be something in.
It's like
if they're
Gatorade.
allowing
It's
you,
nutrients. It's salt.
Right,
Because
right,
It's
right,
like they
right,
have.
right.
It's the salt you need so that you don't cramp, but you need salt with other like water sustenance so you don't get dehydrated. So you need the salt, but you also just need salt with something else. You don't get dehydrated. That's why mustard works and pickle juice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you need salt to have your muscles be able to disengage and use. You need the.
I always kind of wondered about that. That was
Yeah.
like something I've been kind of reading about. Like salt is.
What's
new
the?
kind of
I just talked with
Ah.
the trainer about this year too while we were coaching. Or while I was doing the training stuff for it.
what does
I think it's the
salt do?
potassium. It's the potassium that releases in like in mustard and that is the potassium that it's held in there that it releases the contraction of the muscle that helps with it. You need those ions.
Ah.
I need to double check which specifically, but I know it's not specifically like sodium, but you need like the potassium in it that releases everything, which is what's in like saltier things like the mustard and things like that. That's why that works. is
Are you
they-
guys
that's
mustard
interesting.
people?
I do like
Yeah.
mustard.
I like
Mustard's
mustard.
okay.
How do you?
I would see. I wouldn't drown anything in mustard, but I like it like on it. I could drown something in ketchup and still kind of enjoy it, but like
Yeah.
whatever.
All right, I got a
Come on.
question for the Painter Gang host here. Lace me with what is your at home? You have all the ingredients to make your perfect sandwich. Dr. T, what's in your sandwich? You got everything that you want, but it's a home sandwich. You're not making it at like
Yeah.
Togo's and nothing. Like what are you putting it in?
I'm coming in with some. I love some honey baked ham, like the honey ham deli slices.
Ooh, okay.
I'll roll with those a lot.
Some little boar's head.
Yeah, a little boar's head, a little bit of that, and a little bit of that and pastrami is my two. I have those two
Okay.
in the same thing.
Doubling up.
With some pepper jack cheese, lettuce taken straight off of like a lettuce head.
Ooh, fresh.
So I like the bigger, the
bigger
big
piece.
single pieces of it where I can bite it and kind of rip it off if I want.
Yeah.
And then I gotta have a hot sauce. I myself like a little tapatio.
Yeah.
I like
Painter Gang
tapatio
approved.
usually. If I'm feeling extra spicy, I'll go with the Valentinas.
That's
The
cool.
but the extra the
The-
darker one.
Yeah, it's like the double X.
Yeah, the-
black label.
Yeah, the
Nice
black
and hot.
black label Valentinas. If I really want to get on there, maybe some mayo on the top too, like
Little
make
spread.
it a little bit orange. So like mayo with the Valentinas on it, and then you take it and you smush it down, and then you twist the top of it so that you kind of mix it in without like rubbing it.
You
'Cause
do
want
a
to
little
squish,
twist.
squish
Little
and twist so
twist.
that it can get all the way over.
What kind of bread?
Ooh.
Um, So usually I can just carry wheat bread. I kind of like wheat, but I got into like, what I started to do was get the healthier, the 9-grain stuff with a lot more crap in it.
Yeah.
And so I only got that because I started being like, you know what, I'm not eating breakfast. But it was when I started working on like my rotations at like 7:30 in the morning. I was like, dude, I can't not. Like it's okay if I have like if I work at like 10 or 9 or something, and I can kind of like make my way through the day. But if I'm working like 7:30, like I needed some sort of sustenance. So I would take one of them, and I would do the old halfy Sammy. Is you put peanut butter on half of a slice of it, and you just
Like a little.
you just
right,
get like a
that's
little
right.
mini sandwich. So I don't have to eat a whole sandwich. I don't have to make it. I don't have
peanut
to keep
butter hot
using
dog.
There you
basically,
go.
yeah,
There you
peanut
go.
butter taco.
Yeah.
Because
Wait.
that bread was kind of expensive, and I was like a college student living on my own. Like I was like, I'm trying to be frugal here, so I would
Right.
get like a loaf of bread would last me like 2 weeks.
Oh.
So you're walking within there, and your perfect sandwich though, you getting like the 12 grain.
Yeah, perfect sandwich. I do love the
Okay.
12 grain stuff. But
Okay.
like, I wouldn't say that I would consistently get more if I'm really feeling frisky. Like if I know this is dinner or something, I might like fry an egg or two and put it on there.
I respect the double meat though.
Yeah,
You
pastrami
said,
and
look,
ham.
it's
I usually
my
have two.
sandwich.
I would usually go unless pastrami was on sale. I
Wait,
would-
wait, hold up. You putting the fried egg on the lunch sandwich?
Yep. I could. I wouldn't.
forgot what
though.
that's
So
called.
being realistic is like I wouldn't make it like a grand slam.
What is it with the pain and gain host and eggs, man? I don't know.
It's good, man. It's good.
Timo, what's the Timo sub? Timo sandwich.
It would be French roll.
Ooh.
I like romaine lettuce a lot. I like the crunch, so I would definitely get some romaine lettuce. I go turkey salami.
Okay.
Only kind of sauce I put on it, or like I guess just mustard, no mayo.
Oh,
not
just
a mayo,
mustard.
just
Okay.
yeah. No, pickled onion, carrots, and jalapenos, cucumbers.
Carrots?
Yeah, well, it comes in a little container, so it's like pickled
Oh.
carrots, jalapenos, and like.
Oh,
some
but it's
onions.
pickled.
Yeah,
all
it's
of
the slices.
Ah,
It's a Mexican
okay.
house. I got you.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so exactly. So that and then cucumbers.
They have
Yeah,
those with like the
tapatio,
radishes.
and you get me some nice. So I don't really like hot Cheetos, but on the side of all my sandwiches, hot Cheetos.
You go.
That's the only time I
okay.
eat hot Cheetos.
Is
And
just
and then
with
sometimes
a
you put
sandwich.
A little bit in your little sandwich real quick. Take a nice little bite, get a little crunch.
You know, I didn't know hot sauce and sandwiches was this popular, or if it's like you guys are outliers. But I've never like
Hot sauce in a sandwich?
Yeah,
Whoa.
I never like tried it. I never was like offered it. Like I go to like a sandwich spot, they're not really
A little
having it.
spice, you know? A little spice in there. Yeah,
See, I like jalapenos if I want that.
Yeah, that's
you know?
true. Yeah.
But the pickled, yeah, they
Pickled
have
carrots,
that, like,
yeah.
Pickled
tortas
carrots.
places. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
like
exactly.
a good one. Okay, all
So
right,
that'll be it. Yeah,
Yeah,
nice
they
and
have that.
simple.
They usually have like the sliced radish in it too.
right. I like pickled type of stuff
Ooh.
because I like that sour. Do you guys get pickle
Yeah.
on the side when you go to like a deli or something?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys fuck
Always
with
eat
the
that
pickle.
shit.
Oh yeah, I didn't think
I love
pickle, but
pickles.
Probably pickle. Yeah, pickle.
Yeah, you get a good.
I love
solid
pickles. I
Nice
don't like
little
eating
crunch.
pickle on my sandwich though because it's hard to, unless you get the slices. But I never bought the slices.
Yeah.
I always bought the big.
the
I just
long
wanted
ones.
a
So you're just
fucking
on the
pickle.
side. Yeah, just give me.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
I wouldn't eat it in the sandwich because it
That
was
makes
like
sense.
really hard to.
Pickle inside, it can make the sandwich too wet.
Yeah,
like a wet
yeah.
sandwich.
I
That's
don't
why I don't like
wet
tomato.
sandwiches. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like wet sandwiches. Do you like toasted sandwiches?
I fuck with toasted sandwiches. Like if I'm at the house and I have the liberty to, I'll throw it in like the air fryer real quick to get a little, or I might toast the bread beforehand
Yeah.
and do something like that. I don't like dry sandwiches. Like I don't like them wet, but I don't like them dry because I feel like if it's not enough. So I like mayonnaise. My dad used to like this thing. I don't know if you guys know what it is. It's called fucking sandwich spread. This shit is ass.
Is it like
It's
a
like-
mixture of like mayo?
relish but it's like it's
I've
not
heard of
relish.
it.
It's like it's mayonnaise with
Yeah.
like pickle bits
and they just
and like
mix it.
different stuff. And it's like this
It's like
is
tartare or some shit.
Like,
Kind of like a
right.
weird thing. that
It's
they-
like what
or
you
not a
would
tartare,
make
what am I thinking? Tartar
tuna.
sauce.
Y'all fuck with tuna? Like a tuna sandwich?
I like tuna.
I don't mind
sandwiches.
tuna. Yeah, I can roll with it, but it's
Tartar
not like my first
sauce.
choice. If
That's
it's
what I was
there,
thinking.
I'm like, is there
Yeah.
something else? Because I don't really want to deal with the breadth of it. But like, if it's there, I'll eat it. Like, I'm not mad. If someone comes in like,
Right.
hey, we got everyone tuna sandwiches, I'd be like, that's cool.
Right.
Like, I'll roll with that. It's fine.
I feel like
Thank
tuna
you.
sandwiches can be divisive. Some people are like, no, I fucking hate tuna. I don't. As I got older, I didn't mind. It was one of those that
I was a kid and I was like, gross.
Yeah, my
It's
mom.
just paste.
I had problems with spaghetti and tuna because it was just my mom would cook it all the time. So I hated spaghetti my whole life. Did not fuck with it. As I got older, like some pasta I fuck with, all about the sauce, whatever. But tuna I didn't like. But just recently, I was out somewhere to get a sandwich, like a nice sandwich, so not like a sit down restaurant. And I was like, you know what? If there's any place to try a
make
good
it a good
tuna,
one. Yeah, it'd be
I'm gonna
nice.
try
Yeah.
this place, and they did me right.
Haku on the right on the fucking money.
For the
So
tuna?
first they mentioned
Slick
Haku
Fargo
was talking
said
about Slick Fargo
well,
came in with the support after he
Oh, yeah,
talked
yeah,
about the
you're
banh mi,
the banh mi, the
barbecue banh
Vietnamese
mi. Yeah, you said best sandwich shop. So you guys give your
barbecue pulled pork or barbecue pork.
what's your guys's
Okay,
best,
so
best sandwich spots?
Man, I really don't go to too many. I kind of always just go to the local Togo's just because it's close to my house and I just know when I'm gonna get there.
Yeah, it's safe. It's safe.
Safe.
That's
yeah,
fine
I haven't
as long as
really
you like
gone-
it.
yeah,
People
you
used to
know
give me
what
shit for liking Subway. I love Subway.
Subway's cool too.
They're like,
you
I
know,
could just
gotta
make
go.
my own
used to
sandwich. I was like, yeah, but
I
I
would get
don't.
the cold cut combo.
Yeah.
sandwich.
Always get spicy Italian.
That's a good one too.
No, I can't.
$5 on
I can't
Wednesdays.
fuck with Subway. When I seen one time I went to get a sandwich, and I seen they basically had all of the meats,
The
like,
bologna?
in a thing
That's why you don't get
itself,
that
and
bologna,
it was-
man.
No, it was like a cold cut combo.
No,
It's
that's
like
it.
we
That's
got
it.
them already,
And then they
like,
slap it
it
on.
was like a sticker.
I was
like,
like, yeah, give me
it's
that
like-
triple meat.
No, but wait, would you said Subway's your favorite?
I didn't mind Subway. I liked
Ooh.
Subway.
What's your-
Slick Farco
But
said
also-
Quiznos was lit. That was pretty lit for a cool
Quiznos was
minute.
lit. Also, one of the greatest forgettable commercials of all time is the
Quiznos
weird coupon. Yeah, everything's $1 off with every coupon. So good. Pull it up. But I was gonna bring up I do remember going to Quiznos Subs and getting their little tuna. Like, boom, I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna get tuna right now. Like, it was like a Tuesday. It was a $5. It was when they had the $5.
you got
coupon.
tuna? Wait, bro.
Wait. So I got the tuna at that, and then they toasted it, and I had some toasted tuna with like some pepper jack cheese on it, and it was it was
That's not
good,
bad.
man.
That's not bad.
Bro, you trusted Subway with
Hey, the
fish?
one by the high school, those ladies love me. They knew our names, man.
But, bro, that
Hey, it worked out. That's what I'm saying. Is like
you
I
just
was
try
like,
shit sometime.
until I started getting. I love sandwiches though. Like
that was
Yeah,
my
I
real
do love some.
tuna.
I see. Even like if it's just like a regular ass sandwich, like just nothing that much on it, just give me some lettuce.
Dr. T got
meat.
him a chum bucket sandwich. You know what? Let's just Quiznos doesn't get the love that they should get. I'm like this is the thing.
They're done, right? Discontinued everything.
Yeah, but they're the first ones to toast them.
Yeah.
that is
they
They
had their thing. That was
revolutionized
Yeah,
the thing.
people-
They had
yeah,
the
it's
little
the
roll
thing.
through.
That was it.
Oh, it's funny. We were talking about sandwiches. The
Sorry,
only
sir.
other place that's local in our area. I mean, well, in the Bay Area, Ike's sandwiches.
Ike's, yeah.
They
That's what I
turns
said.
up. They turns up.
Ike's
I
is
like
dope.
Ike. Sometimes Ike's can be a bit too much of an experience.
Yeah.
Like sometimes
get too
it's
creative.
like I don't want like mozzarella sticks today or like 5 sauces. But Haku right there.
Eric's Deli.
Yes.
Eric's Deli.
That's a
That's
solid
The
Oh,
the
alfalfa
goat.
stuff. Yeah. The Oreo
Oh,
Speedwagon.
The Sprouts.
Yeah,
I hit the
that
Oreo
was good.
Speedwagon every time, man.
See,
That's a
you
good
made
one.
up for the fucking the
tuna
tuna.
Subway.
Sarah says Subway tuna is why your bones are made of glass.
Hey,
Dr.
between double days, we used to walk to the, you know, that Subway next to 7-Eleven?
Yes.
And we used to walk to that every double days, and we go eat it at our friend's house. It was on the way, and then walk right back to practice. That's probably why. She's right. I was hitting that spicy Italian. Did you know? I think we talked over here.
He's already named 3 different sandwiches. Everybody, like he's got a rewards, a loyalty card.
They had chicken carbonara. I didn't even know what carbonara was.
I'm
but I
not
knew it
gonna
was
lie
like
though,
weird chicken.
because I'm not gonna let you hang out there without revealing a secret myself. I used to be on their breakfast.
Wait, what?
What?
The breakfast, bro.
Subway
I was
breakfast?
the Subway breakfast. It was ass. Don't worry. It was a 2-pack of ass. But I don't know why I liked it. It was like it was a what is it? Sadomasochist. Like I like the pain of it.
Sadomasochist.
Like I got this weird thing with eggs, right? To where like I don't like I like eggs, but I kind of like eggs in gross settings. Like I like the egg
Crazy
of like
scrambles?
the McDonald's egg in like the little
yeah,
perfect.
egg, like the egg. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the not real.
That's
but
cool.
or if
That's
you give me
cool.
like a weird Subway egg, I'm interested. Get a little
Why is that a
frisky.
square? I like it. Get
It's
over
kind of
here.
cool.
Get over here, you square ass egg.
It was funny too when Subway's tried to start making pizzas and stuff because they were like, "Oh, we got a toaster."
Oh yeah,
Hey guys, we should just make pizza.
that's
we
right.
got it.
Throw it on
Pepperoni. We just added pepperoni.
Wait,
Put
what
some
it?
salami.
Wait, so the chat came with the because they were talking about Lee sandwiches.
Yeah, yeah.
Lee sandwiches
Lee's
is
is
the
pretty
shit. And
Hunglen sandwich number 4 in Milpitas.
I still know. I know.
The best.
you know what? This is the thing about Vietnamese food is I pretty much just trust you. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I
They got
fuck
some good
with
flavor,
I
for
fuck
sure.
with Lee's, but there's like a place around the corner right here that's just closer because it's like a Lee's down the street. There's like a place that's like closer, and I'll just go.
bomb.
I trust it. Like,
I
just
trust-
give me
yeah, I
like
trust
the
the
fucking
sandwich.
grilled chicken. Give me a Vietnamese iced coffee. It's like y'all all have like the same or like a
That's
pho.
cool.
I don't really like. There's not like a place that's like, oh, this is superior pho to me. It's just closer and it's open late. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
I want
fuck
like
with
the
it.
guy taking my order to like 1 own it, 2 I want him to be kind of mad all the time, and that's gonna make me like feel better. There was a place in Arizona I went to. The only really good banh mi place in Arizona I went to. I was like, man, this place is so good. And I found out the owners owned the laundromat that was literally connected to it next door. And I was like, that's why this shit is so good. Because they don't really, like, they care, but they're just like, no, we make dope-ass sandwiches. Like, come eat it, and then I got to go, like, take the quarters out of the machine. Like, that's what I got to do.
Right.
But they're like,
Right.
but every time you'd come in, they'd be like, kind of, like, you'd order something and be like, can I get it this way? And be like, no, you can't get it that way. Just get the sandwich. And they'd be like, kind of like mad when you're trying to like do something weird. And they're like, no, just order the sandwich. Stop it. And so you could tell like they were mad at you if you were asking a bunch of questions. And so like you ordered the one, they're like, all right, come right up. It'd be there, and like you'd watch, they'd literally make it, and it would seem like it came out too quick, but you're like, I just watched you make all of it. Like I knew it was like there and like fresh, but like, man, it's just wild that it came out.
You get
so
that
quick.
thing packaged like it's McDonald's already.
Yeah, there's a place across the street from my work that's the
All
same
right,
way.
I'm gonna drop I've never tried it, but I just know. I know the most underrated pho in Milpitas. It's actually not at a pho place. It's every time I go to Pizza Box, that Asian lady. No. They don't have it, but she's always eating pho. I want some of that. I know she got that good shit. One day I'm gonna slide.
She made
through
it in
and
the
just
bag.
be like, no.
She's been there
What
for
is that?
I want
years.
some of
That's
that.
hella funny.
She got like a big pot over there too, and it's just for her, like not a huge pot, but it's like a pot. And like I never see her eat the pizza. Maybe we shouldn't eat the pizza. I've never seen her actually eat the pizza.
Look, all
You
I
just order pho on the phone. You're like, can I have the soup? Soup? Like, yes,
I just want the soup.
I want the pho.
what you're eating.
Y'all ever had
right
a
now.
gazpacho, the cold soup?
I've tried it. Yeah, but one of
I'm
my
okay
restaurants
with
they
it.
try.
I don't
it.
mind
It's
it.
like, yeah, it's
I
cool.
kind of like it with the grilled cheese. Like, give me
Okay.
a hot grilled cheese and let me dip it in like some gazpacho or
What's
like
the? I've
some
never
cold
tried it. What's
cold
the base
tomato
of
soup.
it?
Give
Is
me
it
like
like
cold tomato,
tomato,
soup.
or-
I think it's tomato-ish. I don't know. I could be wrong. I wouldn't trust me on some of these things.
You
but,
fuck
like,
with the what's the Mexican soup that got the tripe? Menudo? Menudo got.
Yeah.
Y'all fuck with menudo?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. So there's two. Pozole has beef, and then the menudo has the intestine kind
Tripe.
of thing, and yeah, and stuff like that.
See, I would mess with stuff like that. Just don't tell me what it is. Let me eat it first.
Yeah, it's
Like
just
if a
kind of like
whole ass
lingua.
culture eats it, yeah, same
Yeah, it's
thing.
like lingua,
if
you
a
know
whole
what I'm
ass culture eats it, no, I'll eat it. Like I'm not gonna die from it. Like I shouldn't get sick. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, don't tell me what it is first. Like that's the mistake that I think white people have with trying a bunch of food, is like just don't tell me. And I go with someone I trust. I'm gonna trust you on this, and I'm gonna eat it. That was what I had when I had Bumbleway for the first time, and I had the blood steak. So it's just coagulated blood.
Huh.
And I didn't know what it was, and I took it. And I was like, I don't know, what is this, liver or something? Like, no, it's blood. And I was like, Well, I'm not gonna eat it again, but like, okay, I know I don't like it, and it's
Yeah.
not because you said it's blood,
Not
but
my-
it's
yeah.
like
I
that's
got
weird.
I got this problem with menudo. Right, it's like a
And the
personal
tripe is the
thing.
intestine. Don't tell
Right.
me.
I was when I was younger. I was already sick. Right, I had like the flu. Right, and my grandma, bless her heart, she was like, "I'm gonna bring you some
Soup?
menudo so I could feel better." So I was like, "Okay, like sure." Right. I was eating it. I was all right, mind you, like I have the flu, like a stomach flu, right? So I'm eating it, and I'm like, it kind of tastes a little funny. At that point, she decided to tell me, "Oh, because it's tripe." I was like, "Well, what's tripe?" She told me. Threw it all up, and I just
Projectile
had this
immediately.
weird, and it probably wasn't the soup that did. I was already sick,
Just kind of just like.
but I
this is
had this.
different.
Like, do you guys have a food that you have like
Yeah,
a bad
that was me with
connection
stuffing.
Oh,
Stuffing. Yeah, I couldn't eat stuffing for years. I had it. I remember I was in like preschool, and I remember having it on. Something happened. I remember it being in like, you get the hot lunches, and you peel it off, and it's like stuffing. There's
yeah.
mashed potatoes, and there's like a little beef thing. And I had one of those at school, and I think I either had a stomach bug or I don't know. I had something weird, and I remember eating the stuffing out of the like little hot tray things when I was a kid, and like vomiting everywhere.
What?
And so I wasn't able. I had like this visceral reaction. Slick Fargo.
Slick Fargo,
Catch
love
you
you
next
always.
time.
Yeah.
Good to see you,
Peace.
Slick Fargo fan club. Catch us back here so we can make it to the playoffs together.
Yeah. for sure.
But I had like a visceral reaction to like stuffing for the longest time. I can eat it now, but I literally till I was about like
Took you a while.
like too old, like 20. I couldn't do it till I was like 20.
Do you have one?
I just held out.
That's the one of the wildest I've ever heard.
This is probably wild because of my culture, but corn.
Corn.
Don't fuck with corn.
Interesting.
But was it like? Did you like throw up? and
Well,
it
yeah,
was
because
like-
what ended up happening is like I was younger, and I tasted it, didn't like it, kind of threw it up, whatever. And then there was one time where my brother, older brother, I'm gonna force you to eat
You're gonna
corn.
eat
Like,
this 'cause it's a vegetable.
this corn. This is good for you. Eat it. And then I was like trying to put like hot, like anything I could, and he was like just force feeding me,
Oh, you get out of
laughing his ass off, and I'm over here like, please
The
stop.
corn just fucking.
Yeah, so corn for sure. No, traumatized.
that. Wow.
You know what? But now I can eat corn on the cob. Like, give me a cool little.
How about
couple
like
pieces.
what's the
just-
corn with the mayonnaise?
Oh, the
Oh no, I don't like mayos either. So.
meow.
no, what's it called? The street food.
Street corn.
Elote.
Elote.
Oh
Fuck
nah,
with the
that's too
elote?
much. Nah, I can like eat a couple.
A little
like, pieces
cheese,
of
a
it.
little.
Nah, too much for me.
Okay.
Haku said, and I got a funny story. Japanese natto is pretty crazy. All right, so
I don't know what that is.
there
Oh,
was
I heard something about this.
we were at we had the old studio. It was me, it was Eric, and it was Butters. I think maybe Haku was there. We were looking for something to eat, right?
Mhm.
And there was a place in Japantown that was still open, right? And we were just trying to get like a
Fermented
teriyaki
soybeans.
bowl type of thing, right? Like we're just trying to like. So we see it's open. We're like, they have to have that,
Yeah,
right?
give me a
Makes
bowl of
sense.
something.
Starving, haven't ate all day. So we get there. It's hella busy.
Good
Now that
sign.
I actually play the story back in my head, the person who works there was a fuck them. So I'm just trying, like the whole shit isn't like Japanese, right? Like the whole. So I'm trying to figure out what we should get, what I should get, and the lady, what a dick. She was like, because I was like, what's good? Like she was like, you should try the Japanese, you should try the natto, right? She like offered that, and we looked at each other like,
This motherfucker ain't coming
we
back.
we like.
That's
We're adventurous. We
shady.
came here to, try some shit out, right? It smelled like ass. I'm not even playing. Like, this is not even like a disrespect to like the it was before you even tried to eat it. The smell. You know how like if you plug your nose, you can't taste it.
Yeah.
Right.
Nah.
The whole like breathing. It's like a SpongeBob episode where it like hits the nostrils and like a Ren and Stimpy. Like
Yeah,
the
I feel
eyes
it.
turn bloodshot red.
Yeah, and you
it
get the
was-
veins coming in.
Oh my god, like toxic byproduct. No, exactly. It tastes like it's poisonous. I don't understand the idea behind it. Like it's not even like it was. I took 2 bites, dude. Like I'm surprised I even took that much. Threw the whole shit away. I threw it away in there too. So I know she seen. Why would you ask me to take you? Not if I don't look
That's
like I have a
fucked up.
Japanese grandma.
That's
You can't
fucked up.
ask me that if I want NATO.
Yeah.
That's out of
That's
pocket. That
true.
place is now closed. It's been closed for a long time. It's probably because of you, lady.
Telling everyone to have
That's
this
it.
shit.
Japanese
No,
NATO. What kind of
NATO.
bullshit?
Yeah, nah. I mean, pretty much for me, it was just only corn.
I had to think with
Can't
egg
think.
rolls for a while too.
Really?
I couldn't fuck with egg rolls. It was a similar situation. It was like king egg roll. I literally stayed away from them for years, and then one day I was like, I even didn't eat lumpia because it was like
The same
it was
idea.
the
It's a
same
mini egg roll. What are
thing,
you talking
right?
about?
Yeah.
And then I had a taquito one day, and I was like, wait.
This is like
I
a
eat
Mexican egg roll.
what
are we doing?
What's the difference?
Yeah.
I will say though, I like that. I know I've had like since then, like traditional family egg rolls, like they make it at home or whatever. I
Right.
like that good old king egg roll with that red sweet
Hell
and
yeah.
sour.
Nah,
It's
king egg
fire.
roll off of Tully. Hell yeah.
Not
Facts.
mad at it.
Every single
Facts.
time we had that at I came home, we celebrated me graduating, like grad school and shit. We came in, my mom said, "What do you want for food?" I said, "King." We got like 120 egg rolls because them things cold. Them things cold. Give me like 30 of them in a gallon size Ziploc bag with a little wax paper in between. I would just go in there at like the middle of a day and be like, "Yep, this is gonna be delicious." Dip that thing all cold. Don't even heat it up.
Need the
Nah,
sauce,
just
you
all
good.
cold in the sauce. Marinate that thing in some sauce. Come out. I'm 2-3 biting that thing.
Are you
Shit's
even
great.
real Milpitas if you haven't had a 120 pack of at some point some event a 120 pack of king egg rolls and a King Kong pizza box pizza at least with the square slices?
Yeah,
You know,
With the-
you never ordered
have
it. I've
to.
never ordered one,
but I've
I
been a
was-
part of that every single time.
right.
I've like gone to pick up the like egg rolls, but I've never once ordered from Pizza Box ever. I've had their pizza box so many times.
Right.
So many times.
Have you guys ever? Haku said craziest thing he ever had was salted jellyfish salad. It was amazingly good. Have you guys ever?
No, I wouldn't trust it though, but now that he says it was amazingly good, I'm kind of like, I'm in, but like, I'm sus. Like, I don't know if this was the good one that he said. Are you sure this is the one that he said that's good?
If there's a place that you like, please recommend it. I
Yeah,
just got
hit
these
that in.
Those commercials flying.
No, we got to watch this with volume 2.
Are you
though.
guys like adventurous eaters?
I'll eat it as long as someone I trust says it's good. That's my whole
Okay,
thing. Is like
right,
I'll go
right,
to
right,
dim
right.
sum as long as I have like my friend Brian Chung.
What's the wildest thing you've ever ate?
I mean, I like chicken feet. I don't know if that's like wild. I've had balut.
That's pretty.
Oof,
No.
that's wild.
I've had balut.
That's wild.
Don't just casually say that like that's not the most crazy. fucking-
I have had balut, but it's like cooked.
How do they age the egg like wine? Like how they just like not enough years.
Yeah, they
And then
figured
I've
it
had,
out
50 more
perfectly. Like,
years.
nah.
I've had like
Right.
cooked maggots.
Not yet.
I've had cooked maggots before, but that was like a
Bro,
weird.
why you just casually dropping
So
some
that-
shit that's like
So we had
That's
we had a
wild
weird
shit.
thing for when I.
This fool was like, yeah, I was on. What's that? Fear Factor.
So the whole
I had
thing was
fucking.
for my black belt
Yeah.
test. For my black belt test when I was a kid, they had us go through this thing where we stayed overnight, as like a group, like everyone's family went, and we stayed at this
Don't wanna be a
place,
black belt.
Camp K-Way, that was next to. We like did like a walk down to like a cemetery. Like we did a whole like
What the
overcoming
fuck?
fears. It was like with a group of like there was like
no,
40
still
of
though
us,
like
50
that's some
of us.
hardcore like
And
the
so
samurai shit.
we went
real.
out in like groups of 5, and we like went out and we had to walk to the cemetery. We just had to enter the gate, and we could stay there as long as we wanted. But we just had to walk up to the gate, like take a step in, and we
be a
could come
black
back.
belt in anything if this is how
We
it
went with 5
goes.
people, and we had like people with flash. But anyways, it was a wild thing. And so one of the things was like a Fear Factor night. And so what we had was we had literally like 80 of those little Dixie cups with foil on top.
Oh man.
And you had to walk up, and there was like, God, I want to say there was 25 of us or something like that. And you said, all right, they got to be done. Figure it out.
Was it like 8 of you?
No, I'm saying there was 25 of us, and there was
Okay.
80.
Oh shit.
And so we went in, and some of them
So if
were.
some people have
so
to eat more.
some
than
of them,
us, like,
some of them were okay, and some of them weren't. Some of them were like grits, and it was just like a weird flavor.
Oh, gotcha.
It's like, all right, that's cool. And then there was some of them. There was some with like cooked maggots.
Oh gosh.
With like they had like barbecue seasoning on them, but it was still cooked maggots. Like,
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
They had some of the.
Did you know
the
it's maggots?
grasshoppers.
Like it says.
They told us afterwards.
So you had the
Oh,
grasshoppers
after.
too.
They told us afterwards. They were like, there was this row was this row was this row was this.
Was it tasting?
Did anybody
The
just
maggots weren't
immediately
bad.
start throwing up after? Like,
Some of the
ah.
kids did. Some
Okay,
of the
it
kids
makes
did.
sense.
Yeah.
I can see that.
A few of them are Filipino. They're like, oh, I knew that was balut, and I was like, what the fuck? Dude? But
It
so we
was
had
cool
that.
for them,
The one that was harder for me was the balut. Actually, wasn't that hard because once I was like, all right, I'll just crunch it down, crunch it around, whatever. I'm not gonna die from any of this. My mom's here. Like she's not gonna let me die. from
Right.
this.
Yeah,
This-
nah.
She doesn't.
looking
She's
at
probably
your
laughing
mom.
at it. The hardest one was they had the dehydrated like crickets.
See, that's
Ooh,
seen those?
Yeah.
They taste like barbecue sauce, but it's the like getting the legs stuck.
Right.
So that one was the worst for me.
The
I didn't
fact
like
that
that
it's
because the
chewy.
texture bothered
Crickets.
me more.
Crickets is like a Mexican.
Have you
thing,
fucked
too.
with crickets?
I've never. I think I ate them once when I was
Okay.
Younger. When I was younger, and I tried it once, and I was like,
Are you adventurous eater?
not really. I've always kind of like my stomach's always been kind of like sensitive to a lot of things, so I kind of like keep it safe. But I think now that I'm older,
That's fair though.
a lot more adventurous. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I guess not too long I tried escargot for the first time.
Okay.
That's okay.
It's alright,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it just really kind of just
Tastes
like
like
the
butter.
sauce. Like it's
Tastes
just
like
the
butter and
sauce.
garlic.
Yeah, like that was okay.
Make sure you summer 2023. We're gonna have Painter Gang Camp where
Yeah.
we're gonna take you
Factor,
through. We're
baby.
gonna walk
Fear Factor
through.
Painter Gang.
We're gonna
Fuck.
walk through old fucking haunted butcher shops.
You guys are just show me
and-
corn. And I'm like, no, can't do it.
He's gonna eat fried corn. A little disappointed because Haku said his coworker made it. I don't know where to buy that shit. Maybe Bikini Bottom.
Yes.
Yeah, where the fuck you buy jellyfish shit?
You know what? I'm opening up
Sure, Amazon stuff.
a Bikini Bottom restaurant that sells jellyfish salad.
See, if we ever open a restaurant,
Krabby
we're gonna go
Patties.
into soups. That's gonna be
But
our
you're
thing.
right. You're
That's
right.
gonna be our
We gotta
thing.
do soups.
Not sandwiches, not like that. We're gonna be the soup guys.
There's nutrients. We should sell like a drink, like a sports drink that's just like chicken.
Oh, we
broth.
could sell breakfast. Could be cereal. That's breakfast soup.
That's true. That's true. It's breakfast
It's
soup. It is.
It's
Is oatmeal breakfast soup? Like a
Ooh.
chowder's a kind of soup?
Ooh.
A little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so we just have just soups.
Just
Yeah.
soups.
Just soups. but
Liquid.
We have to
Liquid-based form food.
We got to sell a sports drink that's chicken broth.
And the Timo
That's
Slam.
like in the the Timo
It's a
Slam with, as a soup. You could just eat the Timo Slam. It's like, hey, it's just eggs. Am I supposed to whisk it? Am I supposed to
It's a
whisk
soup.
this? When do the oats kind of? Are you?
What do they make it?
Chocolate or strawberry Nesquik? What
Is
am
this
I-
supposed to? Is this supposed to foam up, guys?
Mix it.
You know what? Haku said I'll eat anything, but I'm always scared that I fuck around and fall in love with like duck ankle
Dog,
and never go
That's
back.
me with chicken feet.
I
I fucking love chicken feet.
I will say
That's
duck
funny.
was some fire.
That's good.
That's
Duck
cool.
was one of
Duck's
my
cool.
favorite meats I've ever had. I got it from like PF Chang's. I got this gift card for like from PF Chang's, and it was like for, when I was working, and it was like absurd. They didn't tell me how much it was. I looked up. It was like $200. Like it was something ridiculous. It just happened. I don't know if they knew how much it was.
Yeah.
They just kind of gave it to me.
I'm all in out on this.
So,
at PF Chang's.
Me and my mom went and did it big. Like I just got everything. I was like, I need all of the, give me the extra coconut shrimp.
I don't even know what this
means.
means, but I want it.
Duck was the most expensive thing on there. So I was
Oh,
just
yeah,
like,
you
oh,
get it.
let me just get the
Fucking
duck. I
nuts.
want that. And it was good. I fuck with it. Duck is
Duck
good.
is good. I
Duck's
like
good.
that.
I remember last week you guys were talking about steaks. I never had Wagyu. I want to wait for like a good, proper, like I want
A moment.
like a guy with the Japanese headband to serve me the Wagyu.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It was
Yeah,
actually
I'm gonna
pretty
spend
cheap.
$200 on this, but it's gonna be worth it.
Right. It was pretty cheap one time at
'Cause they have it
at
on
Costco.
Yeah.
Like 4 for like $150. It was pretty cheap.
My dad keeps talking to us. But he sees that every time he goes to Costco, and every single time he asks me, my brother's like, "Hey man, so I saw this and I almost got it. If I get it, you guys gonna?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll get it, but like you shouldn't. Like that's irresponsible of you. But
I'm
I'll
always
take
scared
advantage
to
of
fuck
your
it up.
irresponsibility." Exactly.
Like I've been
I will never cook it myself. I don't know what I'm doing.
that was one of my things during COVID that I wanted to perfect was I wanted to perfect to cook a steak. Like so I had different techniques. Like I feel like I'm pretty good.
You get the butter pour
Now,
over.
my mom and Sarah though, they ruined the experience for me because they're like, I need it well done with like ketchup.
I will
and
punt. I will punt a steak
steak
if it comes
sauce.
out well done. I will punt it.
I went to like LB Steak with my mom one time, and she went and ordered. I kind of like almost kicked her under the table. Like, wait, it's disrespectful.
Come on,
like, I
man.
can't take you anywhere. You just get chicken.
Like, you're
why are you doing
apologizing to
this?
the waiter.
Right.
He come
Like
back,
I literally
stop
got
it.
to
Get a
Kind
country
of like,
fried steak.
are you sure you want it well done?
Get a chicken fried
Sure.
steak, dog. Like just God.
Yeah, it's a different type of beast when you talk about.
I
steak,
hit the reverse sear though, so I'll get like a little bit inside.
Reverse sear?
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that.
He's-
I'll never
he
cook
said
this.
that like half a second before that thing came up.
We locked in. We locked in. Now the reverse sear is the only way you put
What's
it.
a reverse sear? Hit
so
me with it.
You throw it in the oven,
Mm.
right? Maybe in a pan, maybe straight on the thing, at like a low heat though. So like 150 to 200. You put it
Just
in
let it
there
just chill.
until it gets to. I haven't cooked the steak in so long, but there's like a certain temperature you want it to get to, right? And then you're just putting it on. So then you, as you're letting that kind of cook, because you want to get the inside just enough, because you want the pan on top, the black pan. Everything is escaping me. There's some oil on there, but you want that shit hot because you want to get that sear. Now you've already kind of cooked it, you know, inside of there enough.
Cast iron skillet.
Cast iron. Yes,
Oh, shit.
bang. You throw it up on top. You're getting quick though, right? Because you've already cooked a lot of it, right? So you just want that nice, like
Yeah,
that-
you want to sizzle
that-
like as you
you want
before it
that-
even touches it, it should be sizzling.
Just all you
right.
hear.
So you get some oil in there, bang, hit it. You might put if you feeling frisky, put a little rosemary in that,
Oh, yeah.
and
And
then
you pour the butter.
you hit the butter in there. Let the butter melt. You can't put the butter first though, because you can't let the butter burn. Then you hit the baste it, flip it, baste it. You want that nice skin,
I
that
see what
nice
you're saying.
char,
Yeah.
and it's
Yep.
perfect because you get it's cooked enough in the middle. Because if you try to cook it, it's not sustainable to try to cook it at that heat, right?
Yeah.
It'll burn. So you're just trying to get that perfect crust. You're trying to get that
on top
perfect.
of it, yeah.
Sometimes
Nice.
I like a classic, but sometimes I get a little frisky with the blue cheese. Not everybody fuck with the blue cheese like that.
I'm okay with it on
Roquefort?
afterwards. Yeah.
Roquefort, or isn't that type of blue cheese too, right?
I just get the
Roquefort?
crumbles.
Oh, the crumbles.
Yeah. I don't get the sauce. I get like the crumbles. I let it melt
Do
on
you guys
there.
like
but
what's the sauce that sometimes? Oh no, it's
Dude, I fuck with the
That's
blue
very different.
cheeseburgers.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like blue cheese. People
Yeah.
be hating on the blue cheese.
It is. I
but
get it. It's
fuck with
moldy
blue
cheese, but like I don't care. I'll eat
it's
it.
different. It's
I'll mess with it.
I'm talking about blue cheese.
I eat
fuck
tripe.
with blue cheese.
I eat tripe. I eat intestines. I'll eat some
She
little
gets her
bit of
steak
mold.
well done, so she doesn't
be-
count.
Can't. Haku said the hottest fuck hot boy. He know Haku right here. what kind of
Hot.
see? I'm not really like picky with the steaks. Like I'll just hit like but you get a nice fillet. That's when I go. Wait. I made a beef Wellington. Like, bruh, that was the one. That was probably
All
my
right.
greatest accomplishment as a chef. Beautifully came out perfect. The cut. I should have put that shit on TikTok. That shit was a fucking banger.
Haku got some crazy
Haku
shit for you.
said, "Now you want to take it up a notch. Deglaze the pan with some beef stock and water, and burn off a bit of red wine. That is the
Steak
next.
glaze.
That's the next wave. They got a steak glaze.
I gotta step on my steak game. I got really into pork chops because they were cheap, and so I just buy like
Pork chops are cool.
I'd buy
though.
like 10 pork chops, and I just have in my freezer, and I take one out at a time, and I'd brine
Pork
them
chops
for
are
a
good.
while, and like
Nice.
salt water and stuff, flip it.
My grandma.
I got really
loved-
good at it. I got
Those are
really
cool.
good at the brining and making it, so that worked out pretty good. But yeah, I need to get on my steak game. It was just man, I was like a college boy living, and it was not okay.
All right, guys. I think it's about that time. We're starting to get a little audio clip in.
It's all
We
good.
gotta roll one.
Thanks,
I
Haku,
want to
for
roll one.
always
I
showing
want to
up.
hear the audio. I need to hear this Quiznos commercial again.
You know what? We're gonna do this.
Beware of paper cuts.
Will it work?
I did.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. Beware of paper cuts. Just hit the reset on that. Oh, give me any of them.
Does it work?
Let this. Oh, this is gonna make me so happy. Some core memories coming back.
It's muted on the
It's muted on the thing.
on your on
Oh,
the actual
actually on it.
on the yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna remind me of some. Let's replay that bitch.
Fella forgot about these guys.
They were on the wild peyote when they came up with this one. It's almost beautiful.
Wait, are we sure this wasn't a fever dream? Like that's crazy to me.
Nah, they give them
toasty.
a raise.
That's so wild to me.
Guys, thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for
It's
coming.
been a great time. I
nice.
finally
James.
got to hang out with Painter Gain. Make sure you catch tomorrow where you'll see
Chips are
us
down.
on When the Chips Are Down season 2 and see the results of the Royal Rumble.
Mhm.
And then Thursday for book club, we actually have a request that TMOH put in. It is a 2 Chainz album, Pretty Girls Love Trap Music.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna go out to Atlanta, hang out with 2 Chainz a little bit,
Cool.
and we will see you next week. Follow us on TikTok and YouTube. You know, and a lot of it is from Painter Gang clips. The YouTube has gained like 10 followers in the last week.
Let's
Go.
Good.
Painter game, baby.
Doing good numbers.
In the place
so
to
we're
be.
doing- You have a good night.
Good to see you.
This has
For,
been-
See you later.
for Painter Gain, I'm Dr. T.
Timo.
And I'm James LaVigne.
See you.
Catch you next week. Peace.